workers, they are local residents of here, and they are now sitting on a dharna right outside, right in front of the bulldozer that has come here to carry out the demolition drive.
Anshul, so the Congress workers there sitting with the locals, really calling this a bulldozer of hate, and they're not ready to believe, as the MCD is calling it a regular encroachment, anti-encroachment drive, so to say. But have you also been able to speak to any of the people who own the shops there? Because remember, during the Shaheen Bagh Dharna, the shops also remained closed for a very, very long time. So this is going to be a big setback for those who own shops in this particular lane of Shaheen Bagh.
So yes, since notices were not given, so it is really difficult to find out which are the exact shops and exact locations where the demolition drive will be carried out. So we haven't got a chance to speak to them. But yes, all these shops, you can see in the visuals, some of these shops are going to be now taken, not these shops, but the illegal encroachments that have been made outside these shops will be taken down. So yes, in the next few minutes, the bulldozer will see this bulldozer. If the Delhi Police can actually manage to remove these people, they have asked for some force, and it remains to be seen as to how long is it going to take for the Delhi Police to get the acquired force now to make sure that these people are removed from here and the anti-encroachment drive is continued over here.
Okay, Anshul, stay with us. We also have Siddhant Mishra joining us live. He's also in Shaheen Bagh. Siddhant, tell us, where exactly are you and what's happening around you?
Well, dramatic scenes here at Shaheen Bagh, Runjhun. Around me you could see these are some famous outlets, and right outside these outlets I can see bulldozer. I can just see one bulldozer here on ground, and around that bulldozer the locals are standing, and they are not letting bulldoze or raise down these structures, the illegal encroachment here. There are a lot of locals that have come on the roads. They are speaking to the authorities. Here, look here, the protest is going on. Give me some time, I'll try to go and speak to the locals. Excuse me, sir. Thoda andar jaane dijiye. Haji, Modi sarkar murdabad. Modi sarkar murdabad. There you see, Runjhun, protests have started right ahead of the bulldozer. The people have started protesting. The slogans are being raised against the Modi government, against the BJP government. Now people here are calling it a politics of revenge. This is being deliberately done. This is what the people here are alleging. Also, the MCD has to say that this is being done. Because it's a routine drive, and they are carrying out such drive at various places. So Shaheen Bagh is also one such spot. Now you can see the locals have come on the road, on the shops, and they are standing here in solidarity with those people where structures are being demolished. These are the outlets. The visuals that we are getting is from Shaheen Bagh. You can see the locals have come on the road, the shopkeepers and everyone is scared. Everyone is scared of their structures getting bulldozed, their structures coming on the radar of bulldozer. I would ask my video journalist Vikas to turn around and let's go near to the let's go near to the bulldozer where the protest is currently going on. You remember, at the time of CAA protests, Shaheen Bagh became the symbol of the politics of polarization. Both right wing and the left wing, have become a battleground for both right and left wing. And this is perhaps the reason that today, when this particular demolition drive is being carried out, we can see protests going on here. We'll try to speak to some of the people. Some people right here, we'll speak to some of them. भाई साहब, क्या आपका भी स्ट्रक्चर तोड़ रहे हैं क्या?
जी सारा सब कुछ तोड़ रहे हैं, सब कुछ खराब कर रहे हैं।
कोई नोटिस नहीं मिला आप लोगों को?
कोई नोटिस नहीं मिला हम लोग को, कोई कुछ भी नोटिस नहीं।
आप लोग बुलडोजर आगे नहीं जाने देंगे?
नहीं जाने देंगे, हम लोग यही रहेंगे। हम लोग का जान जाएगी या कुछ भी जाएगी?
जान जाएगी या बता हटेंगे नहीं?
नहीं हटेंगे।
ये कौन सा स्ट्रक्चर है इसमें से आपका?
कोई नहीं है, हमारा दुकान वगैरह यहाँ पे गरीब बेचारे मजदूरी करते हैं, यहाँ पे सबको हटाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
अच्छा, जो यहाँ पे बाहर दुकान लगाते हैं तो इंक्रोचमेंट हटा रहे हैं? जी, डिमोलिशन इंक्रोचमेंट हटा रहे हैं, तो आप लोग हटाने नहीं
कोई नोटिस तो दे, विदाउट इन नोटिस पीरियड।
इंक्रोचमेंट में तो नोटिस नहीं दी जाता है ना, ऐसा इनका कहना है एमसीडी का।
बात सही है, लेकिन एक नोटिस होता है, एक वार्निंग होता है, कुछ भी नहीं है, डायरेक्ट आकर
आप लोग ऐसा बुलडोजर पे खड़े हैं?
जी बिल्कुल,
बुलडोजर पे खड़े हैं, बुलडोजर है, बुलडोजर पे खड़े, बुलडोजर आगे नहीं जाने देंगे। लोकल्स का यहाँ पे पे कहना है, तो इसी तरह प्रोटेस्ट जारी रहेगा?
प्रोटेस्ट जारी रहेगा।
हाँ जी भाई साहब, आपका भी यहाँ कोई स्ट्रक्चर है?
नहीं हमारा।
आपके लिए आप प्रोटेस्ट करने आए हैं? अच्छा, स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है फिर भी प्रोटेस्ट करने आए हैं। और लोगों से बात करें। हाँ जी भाई साहब, बताइए कितना चौड़ा रोड है? बिल्कुल नहीं चलने देंगे मैडम, जब तक ये नहीं बताएंगे। ये दूसरे चैनल से बात कर रहे हैं, हम भी बात करने को। हाँ भाई साहब, क्या है? बताइए।
ये जो है दिल्ली के अंदर 1639 कॉलोनीज हैं, लेकिन टारगेट सिर्फ मुसलमान को किया जा रहा है, शाहीन बाग को किया जा रहा है। हम भारत के प्रधानमंत्री से, भारत के राष्ट्रपति से कहना चाहते हैं कि भारत के मुसलमान को कोई जमीन पे जलता हुआ चिराग न समझा, जो आप आएंगे बुझा देंगे।
More news coming in. Demolitions in Delhi monitoring. In fact, before Supreme Court Council mentions before CGI, after North Delhi Municipal Corporation, South Delhi Municipal Corporation has also started demolitions now. In fact, CGI has said, I've allotted a bench mentioned before the bench. So what we've been given to understand now is that the Supreme Court, demolition in Delhi mentioning before the Supreme Court Council. It mentions before the CGI after the North Delhi Municipal Corporation, South Delhi Municipal Corporation has started demolitions now. In fact, the CGI has said that I have allotted a bench. In fact, it also mention before the bench. Remember, the demolition drive in Shaheen Bagh has not yet started. The bulldozers are there, the force is there, but there are locals as well as some Congress workers that in fact are opposing what they call bulldozer of hate. I'm going to go back to my reporters on the ground, Siddhant Mishra, also Anshul Singh, who continue to be with us. Anshul, so the demolition drive then has not started simply because people are not letting it start. Is that correct?
So yes, these are the local people of here and the local Congress workers is what they are saying. I got a chance to speak to a few of them and ask if their shops or their area is being demolished. They say they have nothing to do with the shops over here, but they are sitting on a protest over here. This certainly seems to be some kind of political messaging that is being given out from here. But on the other hand, MCD has been clearly saying that this is an absolutely regular drive and has nothing to do with any sort of politics. These kind of drives are being carried out in the national capital day in and day out, is what the MCD is claiming. We heard the Delhi mayor a few days ago doing rounds over here, earmarking locations that need to be demolished, that according to him were illegal immigrants who were staying there. But none of those structures are being touched right now. These are just the structures here at the Shaheen Bagh main road of illegal that have been made illegal. So yes. In the next few minutes, if the police manages to actually take these people away, these local Congress workers who are now sitting in front of the bulldozer, just taking the time of the camera on them. So yes, they are making sure that their protest is loud and clear, and they will not allow this bulldozer to move out. But yes, we know that Delhi Police is also a very professional force, and in the next few minutes, we can see the Delhi Police coming over here and detain these protesters who are coming in the way of law. Because remember, this is not a demolition drive; this is an anti-encroachment drive. So yes, the illegal encroachments that have been made over here, that would be demolished, and for this, no notice needs to be given to anyone. MCD has the right to take down these illegal encroachments. I'll just try and show you around in the visuals the kind of construction that has happened over here, and why is it cause of concern? Because see, the size of the roads have been shortened because of these illegal structures that have been made over here. All these stairs, we might see a few of these stairs also going out through the bulldozers. People have already started closing their shops over here because yes, there is some tension over here. People are not sure which are the areas exactly on which the bulldozer is going to run. Because remember, since no notice was given, so there is no prior intimidation to anyone of which are the exact areas, which are the exact portions that would be removed today. So yes, in the next few minutes, if the Delhi Police actually manages to get through these people and remove these people or detain these people, then we are going to likely see the demolition drive starting.
We're going to go to Siddhant Mishra now. Siddhant Mishra, could you also elaborate for us what the CGI is saying and also show us what's happening around you? Have the locals as well as the Congress workers who were there still protesting outside the bulldozers, in front of the bulldozers rather?
Well, that's right. Well, Ranjan, see, the forces have come here. I can see the Delhi police personnel right here. They're moving towards the bulldozer because the locals have occupied the complete space around the bulldozer. Delhi police personnel are here. There is a possibility of some actions on those who are protesting and not allowing the government employee to function, to work. And this is perhaps the reason that the adequate force has been called in. You can see the paramilitary forces, CRPF companies right here, the Delhi police Jawans are right here. Now there's a possibility that these Jawans will march towards the bulldozer where the people are protesting, and right after that there's a possibility that the bulldozers will execute the orders that have come from the mayor and chairman of the municipal corporation. Now people here are agitated, they are angry, they are calling it a revenge. They say what happened in Jahangirpuri, all this is happening because of that. This is what the locals are alleging. But MCD is maintaining the official line that this drive has nothing, completely nothing to do with politics. It is a routine drive, and time and again such drives are being carried out. So on one end, Delhi police Jawans, CRPF Jawans waiting to march towards the bulldozer. On the other end, you can see JCB machine, the bulldozer right here, and people protesting on the bulldozer, not allowing bulldozer to move a single inch. Situation on ground here in Shaheen Bagh. People have come out on road in support of the locals, against this entire demolition drive and those encroachments. Every day, whenever you pass by this entire stretch, you will find encroachment on this particular patch where I'm reporting from. The encroachment has already been removed by those shopkeepers. So people have gathered here. Let me get some voices. If you have time, I can get some voices.
Please do.
Those who are protesting will speak to them. हाँ जी, क्या हुआ? चलने देंगे बुलडोजर?
बुलडोजर नहीं चलना चाहिए।
बुलडोजर नहीं चलने देंगे?
बिल्कुल नहीं चलना चाहिए।
हाँ, MCD तो कह रही है कि ये लीगल कार्यवाही है।
लीगल नहीं है ना, लीगल कोई बना हुआ होता, जो लीगल है वो तोड़ सकते हैं।
हाँ,
लेकिन वो लीगल
तो हम देख रहे हैं कि सब दुकान वाले और सब बाहर आके सड़क पे, मतलब 1 इंच बुलडोजर नहीं चलने देंगे।
नहीं, यहाँ पे
दिल्ली पुलिस कह रही है हम फोर्स लगा देंगे।
नहीं तो फोर्स लगाए, ये करें, वो कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, वो करें।
हाँ, तो ये नॉर्मल लोग हैं या पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोग हैं जो प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं?
सारे नॉर्मल ही लोग हैं।
सब नॉर्मल लोग हैं। पॉलिटिक्स
कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से लेना देना नहीं है, सब नॉर्मल लोग।
ये जो दिल्ली पुलिस की फोर्स आ रही है, यू कैन सी द फोर्स मार्चिंग टुवर्ड्स द बुलडोजर. Very dramatic scenes here on ground. The force is marching towards the bulldozer, and we can expect some possible action on the protesters, those who are protesting and not letting the government servants, the government employees to execute the orders of the corporation. So any time from now, we can expect action. Delhi police wearing full gear, all set for the action. Very dramatic scenes. Stay with us. Runjun, we'll be getting minute by minute update from Shaheen Bagh. People are agitated, calling it a political move. MCD saying that it has nothing to do with politics. Now here you see the action, the place where action is going on. The protest is currently going on. People are sitting on bulldozer. Haji. Okay, we'll speak to some of them.
Yeah.
एक मिनट भाई साहब बात करने दे. हाँ जी. क्या हुआ? अरे ले रहे हैं आप. भाई साहब.
कोई बात नहीं, पुलिस आ जाए, पुलिस आए, पुलिस का काम है आने का, बिल्कुल बैठे रहेंगे।
गिरफ्तारी देंगे। आपकी भी दुकान है सर यहाँ पे?
जी सर, बिल्कुल दुकान है ये।
आपकी भी दुकान है?
जी, जब तक हम हैं तब तक बुलडोजर नहीं चलने देंगे। हमारे लाश के ऊपर से बुलडोजर चलना, जिस तरीके से हमारे दिमाग पे बुलडोजर चलाने की कोशिश कर रही है भाजपा सरकार, हम तो अपने दिमाग पे बुलडोजर नहीं चलने देंगे। यही बैठे रहेंगे।
Okay, यही बैठे रहेंगे इसी तरह. I getting the you can see police entering the protest site. The first visuals on CNN News 18. Vikas, senior camera person, is giving these live visuals outside the Shaheen Bagh area, and you can see police is using force now to remove the protesters sitting near the JCB machines. Even media personnel are also being asked to move back because there is some action. You can see police is driving these protesters. They are being dragged out. There is adequate police protection that is being arranged, and the protesters have been removed. The protesters have been removed from outside the next to the JCB. The area has been cleared, and now there is a possibility of action which will take place. Between the heavy police deployment, the MCD is going to remove the encroachment in Shaheen Bagh area. Now this is an anti-encroachment drive that has been carried out will be carried out by the MCD officer. Vikas ji here, the action is going to take place there. Vikas ji is also here giving us these shots, exclusive shots from Shaheen Bagh. There you see, now the area has been completely cleared by Delhi Police Jawans, and there's the possibility of bulldozers executing the orders of the corporation. One by one, the protesters are being removed. You can see, people are being forcefully removed. They are being dragged out by Delhi Police. The visuals only on CNN News 18. Minute by minute update from the court and from the ground we are bringing for our viewers. You can see the protesters are not ready to vacate. The people have come on streets. The shopkeepers have come on the streets. Police is requesting media personnel also to move. But क्या बोला है? Public land के ऊपर encroachment है. Public land है तो कोर्ट जाए. कोर्ट का आदेश. Public land है तो कोर्ट जाए. कहना है कि कोर्ट से ऑर्डर लेके आइए. उसके बाद बुलडोजर चलाइए. ये यहाँ के लोगों को कहना है. We'll speak to some of them. Police is facing lot of challenges in removing people from this very site. I would ask my video journalist Vikas to show some shots of people protesting, protesting right in front of the bulldozer. One by one, they are being picked, they are being dragged out, and police is trying to create a space. This entire exercise was deferred on 5th of May because there was no police protection given to the MCD. Today, as police has decided to give protection, this drive is being carried out. So, dramatic scenes are going on, dramatic scenes are expected in some moment from now when bulldozers will start bulldozing the illegal construction, illegal encroachment in the area. Back to the studios.
Siddhant Mishra is getting the latest visuals for us. And of course, the locals there extremely adamant and stubborn that they are not going to move and let the MCD carry out this demolition drive. We also have Anshul Singh with us on the broadcast. Anshul, tell us, what do you see around you? Also tell us a sense of how many locals have really gathered in that area, and how many locals will the force really have to remove to be able to carry out this drive?
So yes, the force has successfully been able to remove a huge chunk of crowd that was present over here. Many people, as you see in the visuals, are standing on the roads just to get a sense of what is happening. These people are not involved in any sort of protest that we might be able to see. So yes, in the next few minutes, I think the Delhi Police is now successfully been able to remove maximum number of people. Only a very few people can be seen standing over here. So yes, many of these people are now going to be detained by the Delhi Police. So yes, interesting developments that are happening over here. And yes, in the next few minutes, we can see the anti-encroachment drive being started by the MCD, because remember, the permission was not given on 5th, but the permission was given today when adequate security forces were available with the Delhi Police. So yes, the Delhi Police is already here, absolutely in riot gear. I can also show you in the visual, women police officers have also started coming in just to remove the women who have been at the protest site. So yes, most of the people have been removed. Very few people are still standing on the bulldozer, and yes, it is getting a bit of a tough job for the Delhi Police to make sure that a law is followed over here, because these people are not ready to move from the bulldozers. They are being picked up and they are being taken away, but again they are trying to come back over here, reach back over here. So yes, it is definitely a hectic job for the Delhi Police now to make sure that these people are removed peacefully. If not peacefully, then probably by the use of force. It remains to be seen how does the police now respond to this, because now it is the duty of the Delhi Police to make sure that law and order is maintained in such a way that regular legal work that needs to be conducted over here at Shaheen Bagh is allowed to be done. But yes, protesters are still not listening to the police. They are still trying to protest against the police. They are using their force. But yes, the Delhi Police has also gathered here in very large numbers, and in the next few minutes we are going to see probably the street being cleared up and this demolition drive being carried out.
Anshul Singh, stay with us. We also have Nikhil Lakwani with us on the broadcast. Nikhil, give us a sense of how many people are there that have gathered on that road in Shaheen Bagh. On the visuals that we are seeing on the screen, it looks like hundreds. It also looks like very soon we'll see a traffic jam in that particular area. But most of these peoples, are they locals? Because we did see some Congress workers there as well. Also, where are the Shaheen Bagh Dadis? Are they around? Because that exactly was the road where they were sitting on a dharna for a very, very long time.
Well, Ranjan, that's right. Whatever you have mentioned is absolutely correct. And this is the exact road where the protest took place over the period of 3 months against the CAA and NRC protests. So these are the visuals we are showing you on the TV screens. As per the details, only one JCB machine can be seen here. And clearly it is surrounded by hundreds of people. These are the local peoples. As of now, as you have been asking, the Dadis have not reached yet here because nobody was expecting them. Though the MCD has been saying that this is a part of the regular drive. We already informed and since the MCD also released as to on which date where the drive is going to take place of the MCD. This area comes under the South Delhi Municipal Corporation. As you can see in the visuals, hundreds of people have surrounded the JCB machine, and only one JCB can be now seen here, and the police is trying their very best effort to make sure that the drive takes place smoothly. But what we believe, these are the shots, the top angle shots, which clearly suggest that additional number of forces are required at this particular area because Ranjan, you see, this is one such sensitive area where the protest took for so long, and this drive is taking place immediately after the anti-encroachment drive that took place in the Jahangirpuri area, and we know how the action and reaction came after. And this is also one such area which comes under the Okhla constituency, so it becomes very sensitive. This is the minority dominated area, and gradually now what we see is that JCB has started moving. A while back it was stationed right here on the main road, but gradually it has started moving, and the people along are now raising the slogans. They are clearly protesting against the drive is what we can see from here. And the allegations are now also taking place. The politics is also taking place. It has intensified. The local councillor of the area, Abul Fazal Enclave, Wajid Khan, what the BJP spokesperson Praveen Shankar Kapoor has been saying, that he is trying to instigate the people. He is trying to spread the communal disharmony in this area. This is the reason why the Delhi police should make sure that the councillor which I have just mentioned, he should be under the supervision of the Delhi police. Then only somewhere or the other the drive can smoothly take place. But these are the visuals. Gradually what we can see that the additional forces are being deployed here. Not only the Delhi police personnel, but also the paramilitary forces can clearly be seen here. Even the women paramilitary forces have now been deployed here. But clearly we need extra forces here to make sure that nothing goes like untoward incident like we have been reported in the past as well. But also to mention about the traffic jam, I would urge my camera person Narayan Singh Thakur to show you the visuals of the entire stretch, that how this particular stretch now the traffic jam, the massive traffic jam can be seen here. And on the other side of the road also the traffic movement is slow. And this is one such particular stretch, Runjhun, which connects the Noida district to the national capital Delhi, to the Okhla side as well. So people coming all the way from the Noida, going towards the South Delhi side and towards the Farida side. This is the particular stretch which is taken now. This is the bus. You can see highways written on it, and the additional forces are gradually seen on that particular bus. The senior police officials are already present here. So clearly a commotion can be seen here. Gradually there is increase in the police presence and also in the locals as well. But so far the Dadis have not yet reached here. Only one JCB can be seen. Runjhun.
Okay. In fact, Nikhil was showing for us the visuals of that traffic jam. Remember that road also connects Noida to Faridabad and Delhi. We also have Anshul who's joining us from the ground in Shaheen Bagh. Anshul, tell us the extra forces that have been deployed on the ground. Have they come all prepared? Do they have lathis or water cannons with them?
So yes, the extra forces have arrived over here. They are standing over here. I just try and show you the visuals that people are being detained now by the police. These are the same people who were just protesting in front of this GCB. Now the detention process has also started. Additional forces have also been deployed over here. I'll just try and show you the visuals. These are the police officials who are ready to manage any untoward incidents, any situation that goes out of hand. They're ready to manage that. So yes, the demolition drive is going to go ahead. The JCB is present over here. The buses, the trucks of the MCD are over here to take the debris out. So yes, everything is preparedness. Just the Delhi Police and the extra security forces who are present here, they are trying to make sure that the people are not anywhere close to that JCB, because remember, in such kind of demolition, this can be injurious if the people are really very close to it. So yes, the Delhi Police is just trying to manage that. They are trying to remove the people from over here. However, there were not many protesters that were removed. Many of the people you see here in the visuals are just local people who are just trying to get a sense of what is happening over here. They are not protesting over here. There were a very few protesters, a handful of protesters mainly, led by few Congress local leaders. They were over here. Now they have been detained by the police, is what I can tell you. I'll just try and show you in the visuals. There is the police is trying to maintain that no law and order situation arises over here at any cost, and also trying to manage the traffic, because as Nikhil rightly mentioned, there is a massive traffic jam over here, and we know that this road which connects Noida to Delhi is prone to such traffic, such traffic jams. But yes, the Delhi Police is trying its best right now to maintain law and order, to maintain the traffic over here. Locals have been removed. The JCB has started working. I'll just try and show you in the visuals. These are exclusive visuals with CNN News 18. The JCB has started moving ahead and is going to the exact location where the anti-encroachment drive will be carried out. So yes, the Delhi Police has successfully managed to restore law and order over here in Shaheen Bagh, and in the next very few minutes we can get those visuals of anti-encroachment drive that is going to be carried out. Also, the no more protesters can be seen over here, is what I can tell you. Those protesters were removed and have now been detained by the Delhi Police. Still, I can see very few people who are still trying to protest, but the Delhi Police is managing that, and as you can see in the visuals, the JCB has already started moving ahead, and just in the next few minutes, the anti-encroachment drive is going to be carried out from here in June.
I'll go back to Siddhant Mishra at this point. Siddhant Mishra, Anshul was just telling us that the force has managed to remove almost everybody who was blocking the bulldozers. What now? Are you still seeing more people protesting the bulldozers?
Well, that's correct, Runjun. Some more people are protesting. I can see right behind me, the police is escorting them out. Several protesters have already been dragged out by police, and these are the fresh set of protesters, those who have come here. We'll speak to them. Haji, कहाँ पुलिस आप लोगों को लेके जा रही है क्या कहीं? नहीं, पुलिस आप लोग ऐसे ही जा रहे हैं? ऐसे ही जा रहे हैं। तो क्या चलने देंगे जेसीबी? क्योंकि अब तो प्रोटेस्ट खत्म हो गया। कोई अतिक्रमण नहीं है। इंक्रोचमेंट हटा रहे हैं, अतिक्रमण नहीं हटा रहे हैं। इंक्रोचमेंट हटा रहे हैं, जेसीबी का कहना है। हाँ, वही तो कह रहा हूँ, इंक्रोचमेंट है ही नहीं हमारे यहाँ। इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है आपके यहाँ? हमारे यहाँ इंक्रोचमेंट है। There you see, ये तो कह रहे हैं कि इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है, but going near to those places where encroachment, to remove the encroachment, and the JCB machine is being spotted, is being guarded by the paramilitary forces. Now there you see the paramilitary forces are walking next to the JCB machines where we are reporting from, and you know, along with them, paramilitary force. I can also see company of police. Here, Shaheen Bagh, behind that, there is heavy traffic jam. We also want to tell our viewers, avoid taking Jasola, Shaheen Bagh stretch while going to Faridabad and Noida, because this particular stretch is completely jammed. Now JCB is moving ahead. We'll walk along with the JCB. We'll try to get a sense. Police has successfully removed the protesters, those who were sitting on protest. Some of them were from the political parties. Some were the locals. They all have been removed now. The shops in Shaheen Bagh have completely been by the shopkeepers, the owners. You can see all have come on the roads. The entire Shaheen Bagh has come on the main road. So the major challenge for Delhi Police right now is to make sure that law and order remains intact, keeping in mind the history of this very place. At the time of CAA protest, the responsibility with Delhi Police is to keep the law and order intact, because the people are also walking along with the JCB machines. The paramilitary forces are guarding the road. These are the visuals that we are giving for our visuals. And, the people are on roads. They have closed their shops. The locals have come out on the streets. They are protesting. We can expect several other groups also to come and take part in the protest. The local MLAs, the local politicians from the opposition party. That can also happen. So, police is taking utmost precaution. This was expected and this happened. They were expecting protest, and this is perhaps the reason that on 5th of May, when this anti-encroachment drive was scheduled, it got deferred because police did not give adequate protection to the MCD teams. Today, police and paramilitary forces have given adequate protection, so it will be carried out. Now, JCB teams have gone ahead. They have crossed the main protest site, Runjun, where protest was happening at the CAA times. Now, they have gone ahead with the strategy. We don't know, is there any change in the strategy? We really don't have any idea about it. We cannot see any senior officials here on the platform. If there is any change in strategy, what we are doing right now is walking along with the paramilitary forces. This side, paramilitary forces are walking in. On the other side, you can see the protesters are protesting. Video journalist Vikas is giving those visuals to us. The protesters are protesting near the shops at Shaheen Bagh, the outlets at Shaheen Bagh. So on one end, paramilitary forces and police force are marching. On the other end, the protesters are marching. Tense atmosphere here in Shaheen Bagh. The JCB machine has gone ahead. Okay, Amanatullah Khan is there. I think Amanatullah Khan is there. We'll try to get word from Amanatullah Khan. Wait, give me some time. We'll try to speak to Amanatullah Khan. Okay, so there you see Amanatullah Khan. Amanatullah Khan, JCB तो आगे लेके चले गए.
चल रहा हूँ ना मैं.
अच्छा, तो क्या प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे? चलने देंगे?
अरे मैं चल रहा हूँ, देखते हैं ना.
Amanatullah Khan, Aam Aadmi Party MLA, is right here on spot. It's a big breaking news. Amanatullah Khan is on the spot. Now he's going to speak to the officials. He's saying that I won't comment. First I will speak to the officials. Aman bhai, ये तो पहले से चल रहा है. आपका क्या कहना है? कोई बुलडोजर नहीं चलेगा. अमानतुल्लाह खान has to say कोई बुलडोजर नहीं चलेगा. मैं बात करूंगा. लेकिन तो काफी दिनों तक चल रहा है.
अरे क्या चलता है यहाँ पर?
इंस्पेक्शन करने आए थे.
इंस्पेक्शन करने आए, सब क्लियर है. देखो यहाँ कोई इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है, ना यहाँ बुलडोजर चलेगा.
कोई इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है, ना बुलडोजर चलेगा. अमानतुल्लाह खान, आप MLA, on spot, on ground zero, standing with the protesters. CNN News 18 getting the live visuals and on ground spot, reporting from the ground. Now he's heading towards the JCB machine. He'll speak to the officials. Drama expected here in Shaheen Bagh. Amanatullah Khan has to say that there is no encroachment. You can see here at this point in time. So what exactly MCD teams are looking for if there is no encroachment? So basically it is an anti-encroachment drive, and the encroachment has already been removed by the locals only. The shopkeepers only removed because there was a buzz that the bulldozers will remove the encroachment. So the encroachment has already been removed, and the same is being reiterated by Amanatullah Khan. That why are they here if there is no encroachment? Now Amanatullah Khan is going to speak to the officials of MCD, to the Delhi police, asking them to go back. He said that I will not let bulldozer bulldoze or raise down one property in Shaheen Bagh. MLA from Shaheen Bagh area, Amanatullah Khan, one controversial figure from Aam Aadmi Party. BJP has been attacking Aam Aadmi Party time and again by taking name of Amanatullah Khan. And Amanatullah Khan is on the ground saying that visuals. He's asking bulldozer to go. He's asking bulldozer to go. MLA, sitting MLA, asking bulldozer to go. Dramatic scenes. The people are on road. Police is asking to control the law and order situation. Look at Amanatullah Khan. Those visuals only on CNN News 18. Asking bulldozers to go. Amanatullah Khan, local MLA. Now this will become a political clash between Bharatiya Janata Party and Aam Aadmi Party, I'm pretty sure. Because time and again BJP has been attacking Aam Aadmi Party by taking name of Amanatullah Khan. BJP has been saying Amanatullah does appeasement politics all the time. At the time of CAA protest also, he was attacked by Bharatiya Janata Party for giving statements in favor of the protest. Now, you see that protest is currently going on. Protests are again started after the entry of Amanatullah Khan in this entire fiasco. Paramilitary forces are going inside to handle the situation. The big responsibility is with the Delhi police and paramilitary forces to control the situation. Now, people are clapping, celebrating after the entry of Amanatullah Khan. They feel that their MLA is there here with them, so there will not be any bulldozer action. This is what people are happy about at this point in time, because Amanatullah Khan has said very clearly that there is no encroachment at this point in time. what MCD is going to do exactly. So this can escalate situation further. The presence of Amanatullah Khan on ground can escalate situation further. He has refused to speak to us. He said that he won't talk. First he will speak to the officials. He also made this announcement that he will not let Bulldozer do any action in Shaheen Bagh area. The statement coming from MLA of Aam Aadmi Party. I am again repeating, this could escalate situation further. This has become a political situation, out and out political war between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party after the entry of Amanatullah Khan. Before this, the foot workers of political parties were taking part in the protest, but after the entry of this big face, Amanatullah Khan, this will turn into a full-blown political war. Now you see the people are not letting JCB work. They are asking JCB to leave. All have surrounded JCB machine, paramilitary forces on one side, the supporters of Amanatullah Khan on the other side. Situation on ground, situation looks tensed. The responsibility with Delhi Police is to make sure that law and order remains intact, and that is what they are exactly looking at. The situation can turn volatile any moment from now, and right now Delhi Police is just observing the entire situation. Amanatullah Khan, they are speaking to Amanatullah Khan, they are conveying it to them that this is a government order that they are executing, and the protesters and in fact the MLA should not intervene in the government functioning. This is what exactly Delhi Police wants to convey to Amanatullah Khan. But this fight, this has become a full-blown political war now, because BJP has got this political tool in their hand after the entry of Amanatullah Khan. They have been attacking Aam Aadmi Party for the appeasement politics by taking Amanatullah Khan's name, and that is exactly going to happen today. Back to the studio.
Siddhant, tell me about the people that are present on the ground right now, please. I'm Toya here. I want to ask you, tell me about the people who are participating. Those are residents. Tell us a little bit more. Have they been protesting? Describe what the last hour has looked like, please. We're starting the show with you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Toya. So we are here at Shaheen Bagh. The bulldozers were there almost 500 meters back, but the protest started. Police cleared the entire area. The protesters were detained. Then JCB machine, this one bulldozer came ahead. When this bulldozer came ahead, Amanatullah Khan suddenly appeared along with his protesters, and he told CNN News 18 that I'm not going to allow corporation to execute the orders. No bulldozer will carry out the anti-encroachment drive here. He also has to say that there is no encroachment right now in Shaheen Bagh. What are they here for exactly? This is what he asked to CNN News 18. The situation has begun. There you see Amanatullah Khan. Vikas ji, Amanatullah Khan pe thoda sa camera ghumaiye darshko ke liye. There you see Toya Amanatullah Khan between the with his supporters is speaking to the MCD official, the police force. Police is trying to convey to him that these are the government orders that they are going to execute. It has nothing to do with the politics. But Amanatullah Khan is standing right next to the bulldozer. He is not letting bulldozer execute the orders of the corporation. Situation is tense here on ground. There is heavy traffic jam on one side. Toya, on this side you can see JCB machine. On the other side, Amanatullah Khan with his protesters. JCB is trying to move at least an inch, but JCB is not being allowed because protesters have gathered all around the JCB machine. The locals have gathered. Commotion scenes there. Vikas ji, if you can give those shots for our viewers. The commotion scenes right there. Some local politician has again intervened. So all the local politicians, activists of the area have come on roads. The shops are closed. पूरी मार्केट बंद करा दी गई है. सब लोग सड़कों पे आ चुके हैं, and this is a reason that this situation can escalate further. Delhi Police's priority is to maintain law and order in the situation. Let me go near Amanatullah Khan and see what he's talking, what he has to say. Aman bhai.
स्टेट में सरकार है, मुझे दिखाओ तो सही, अपना रोड है ये, सरकार का रोड है ये, पीडब्ल्यूडी का रोड है ये, देख रहे हम सुन रहे भाई। अच्छा उधर बात कर लिए। अमानतुल्लाह खान जी, अमान भाई से मिलेंगे आप। अमानतुल्लाह जी, अरे सही से बात कर लीजिए, अमान जी।
Okay, he's again moving towards bulldozer. He's making sure that bulldozer doesn't work. Bulldozer doesn't execute the orders from the corporation. He is along with his supporters. He is also here to take the best political mileage that he can take out of this situation. In fact, when CAA protest was also going on, he was someone who was out and out supporting the protest, and BJP was attacking Aam Aadmi Party for the same reason. Now, this can further escalate the politics, and this has become a full-blown political war between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP. Now, Amanatullah Khan is right there next to the bulldozer along with his supporters. The bus has come here next to the bulldozer.
वो जब आए थे, जनरल ऑफिसर आया था, मैंने सारा हटवा दिया था। वो जो उन्होंने इंक्रोचमेंट बताया था, हमने खुद हटवा दिया था। यहाँ का SHO भी जानता है। कैमरे से आगे ना कर यार, कैमरे से आगे ना कर। बात तो करोगे ये तो क्या होगा? अच्छा गाड़ी होगी, गाड़ी ना। चलो प्लीज, भाई साहब, कैसे रिक्वेस्ट करें? मैं थोड़ी देर में कॉल करूँगा।
All right, as my colleague Siddhant stands there, tries to get a bite from the Aam Aadmi Party MLA Amanatullah Khan, we're going to go over to my other colleague, also on the ground, Anshul Singh. Anshul is present in the same area very much. He's going to give us a different angle to the same story. Anshul, walk us through the facts. The MCD came there at about 11 a.m. to start activities. Tell us about what's happened since then. We've seen no actual encroachment drive take place. Have the bulldozers been able to take no action in the last 1 hour?
So since 11 a.m., since the bulldozers came here, there has been no action that can be seen as of now. The protesters have been on the roads in front of those bulldozers, trying to make sure that the bulldozers are not allowed to move any further. First, we saw a group of Congress protesters that were over here. They were protesting against the anti-encroachment drive that is going to be carried out. They were initially detained by the local police officials over here, and they were taken away. Now, Amanatullah Khan, seeing such a big media frenzy, has now come here to address the media and to talk to the MCD officials and try and tell them to not carry out this anti-encroachment drive that was scheduled to be carried out over here. So yes, now Amanatullah Khan.
MCD को मैंने बता दिया। आप हटिए, पीछे हटिए, इन्हें बताने दीजिए। MCD का तो कहना है कि सर जो रूल्स हैं उसके हिसाब से वो कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं। पानी पियो, तुम पानी पियो, पानी पियो। MCD का कहना है थोड़ा पीछे हो करो, थोड़ा पीछे हो करो। मुझे बता दे, MCD आकर मुझे बता दे अतिक्रमण कहाँ है।
All right, that commotion that you can see taking place over there between forces and people, ordinary citizens on the ground right now, it does seem as that the situation is turning violent. Obviously, these are residents of the area concerned possibly about their livelihoods, about the buildings in the area. On the other side, of course, you have police patrolling forces that have arrived on the scene, in their words, to assure the carrying out of law and order. Now, we'll try to continue to bring you updates from the ground, resident sentiments on what's going on in the area. We're going to try to hear from shopkeepers, from local residents, to understand how they're impacted by the activity that you can see on the screen right now. Again, this is an encroachment drive announced by the SDMC. They began the first phase of this demolition drive on Wednesday. This is a drive that will continue till May 13th. Now, we were aware that this was going to take place. However, the developments, the fact that this was going to happen today in Shaheen Bagh is something that only became clear to us in the newsroom this morning. It's only something that became clear to reporters in the morning. All right. We do seem to be bringing some scenes of real violence right now. I have two colleagues with me. I'm going to go over to one of them. Anshul, the visuals we're showing our audience right now, violence, protesters on the ground. I think these are ordinary residents. Tell us more.
So the ordinary residents who are standing here are standing on the sides of the road, just trying to get a sense of what all is happening over here, since so many cameras and so many police officials are over here. They're just trying to get a sense of what is happening. But yes, the people who are actually protesting belong to particular parties, be it the Congress worker. As you can see in the visuals that people are now being detained. This person is a Congress worker, is what he is claiming, and is a local of this area. And he has been protesting here since morning. Even during the initial protest, he was taken out. But yes, he has again come out to protest, and now he has been detained by the police. So more such procedures are going to happen in the next few minutes. The police is making sure that at no cost, this bulldozing activity or anti-encroachment drive should stop. Because remember, this was the reason why the anti-encroachment drive was delayed over here at Shaheen Bagh. So yes, as a few people come here trying to protest, trying to stop the bulldozers, the Delhi police is making sure that no one is allowed to come in the way of the law and is allowed to hamper law in any way or in any manner. So yes, as you can see in the visuals, the bulldozer is all set. The police is trying to just evacuate the place, take people who have been standing here, bystanders who are standing here, and trying to get a sense of what is happening. The police is trying to remove these people. So yes, the police is now trying to remove all these people, and this is the exact location from which it is expected that the demolition drive is going to start now. So yes, in the next few minutes, these are the first visuals that we are bringing you exclusively on CNN News 18. The demolition drive is starting now. The JCB is going to start functioning now. And yes, in the next few seconds, these are the exclusive visuals that we are getting on CNN News 18. The JCB has started working, and in the next few minutes, we are going to see the demolition drive being started now. So yes, I'll just try and show you in the visuals. All in readiness. People have been removed from the entire area. Now the demolition drive is going to start. The police is trying to manage the crowds, trying to move them away to evacuate the area so that no untoward incident happen once the bulldozer is started. Because you've seen the visuals, this is the illegal encroachment that was made. The area outside the balcony is absolutely illegal, and this is what the MCD is claiming. And in the next few minutes, all this is going to come down heavily. So yes, there is absolute commotion over here. People are trying to stop this demolition. The Delhi police is also making sure that demolition is not stopped at any cost whatsoever. So yes, I'll just try and show you in the visuals. The demolition drive has started over here at Shaheen Bagh. The protesters who are protesting over here are now being detained by the police, and in the next very few minutes, this drive is going to start, and all these illegal structures that you see in the visuals currently will be removed by the Delhi police and the MCD. MCD and the Delhi police making sure that no one comes in the way of law, and this happens, the anti-encroachment drive happens without anyone getting injured or without any untoward incident happening. So yes, a big ask for the MCD officials and the Delhi police to make sure that everything is carried out in safety, because there is a huge number of people who are present here, bystanders who are just trying to get a sense of the situation. So yes, in the next very few seconds, we are going to see the JCB working. Few people are still coming out here, trying to enter the encroachment area that has been created by the Delhi police, trying to enter that area, trying to protest, trying to stop the JCB, but that seems to be all
Anshul, as we watch these visuals, for our audiences, tell us once again, you were talking about a little earlier the discrepancy in the version given by the SDMC and the version given by BJP leaders. Highlight that discrepancy for me right now in what their reasoning is for this drive.
So yes, the local mayor, SDMC mayor, has been on record saying that the anti-encroachment drive is being carried out on his directions. But the local commissioner, MCD commissioner, has been saying that this is a routine demolition drive that is carried out every day or probably every week in different parts of the city. So yes, this was a discrepancy that we found. Also, the mayor, if you remember, a few days ago went ahead in this area, Shaheen Bagh area, inside few villages, and he marked a few areas which, according to him, were areas where illegal immigrants, Bangladeshis or Rohingyas were seeing, and he was asking them to be removed. But no such action is happening. The mayor even went to the extent of saying that we'll use the bulldozer in the next 2 hours. But it has been more than 2 weeks and no such action has happened as of now. But yes, this drive that is being conducted over here right is a regular drive that the MCD takes out, and it has nothing to do with any sort of politics whatsoever. But yes, this local drive has now become political, because we have seen Aman Khan, the local AAP MLA, arriving over here. A few of the Congress workers have also arrived over here, trying to protest in front of the JCB. So yes, this has certainly become very political. Also because of the history of Shaheen Bagh, that you know that Shaheen Bagh has been an epicenter of politics for the past 2-3-4 years. Remember the anti-CAA protest that was carried over here. So yes, it has become the epicenter.
All right, that's my colleague Anshul from the ground. The anti-CAA protests took place right here in Shaheen Bagh. You remember, it's hugely symbolically important for a large population within our country for that reason. Now, we're going to go over to another colleague of mine right now. We're going to connect with Siddhant for just a second to understand more from him. Siddhant, tell our audiences the naare, the slogans that you can hear around you. Tell our audiences a little bit more about them. Who are the people right now who are coming out and protesting? Because this is different from Jahangirpuri. In Jahangirpuri, we didn't see clashes of this nature on the day of the drive. Today, what we're seeing in some ways is unprecedented. Tell us a little bit more. Are these residents and what are they chanting? What are their feelings?
Well, look up. There was more police force in Jahangirpuri. Here, the police and paramilitary forces are being outnumbered by the locals. This is what I can see. See here around. Also, after the entry of Amanatullah Khan, this entire drive has become political. Now, Amanatullah Khan is trying to stop the demolition drive, the anti-encroachment drive, but paramilitary forces are standing right there and they're not allowing him to reach near the JCB, where JCB is right now parked. On the other side, the buses have been arranged for the detention of the protesters. Many of the protesters have already been detained. Some of them will be detained to clear the passage for the JCB machine. Right now, I can see some ruckus, some sloganeering going on there at this showroom, and paramilitary forces are asking people to leave, but they are not leaving. After the entry of Amanatullah Khan, his supporters have also come. The other locals have also come, and the entire area.
What are some of the chants that you're hearing around you? Please tell us.
They are ready.
What are some of the chanting that you're hearing around you? The sloganeering. Share what you can with our audiences, please.
Well, the sloganeering is against the BJP government. The sloganeering is against the Delhi police. The sloganeering is against the corporation. The people have gathered on the street. Some of the small-time politicians have also come protesting and trying to take the political mileage of this entire situation. Along with them, the Amanatullah Khan has also come. He has gone inside and speaking to the corporation officials. The Delhi police and paramilitary forces have completely cordoned off this particular piece of land here in Shaheen Bagh, where the expected demolition is going to take place. There you see the arguments are currently going on. The dialogue is currently going on. Police is trying to convince Amanatullah Khan that, look, these are the orders from the top and we are here to execute the orders, nothing else. It has nothing to do with the politics. It has nothing to do with the religion. But Amanatullah Khan is not ready to listen to what the corporation officials are telling him, what the police is telling him. He has to say that I cannot see encroachment anywhere around. I ask the authorities, tell me the spot where encroachment is and what they are exactly going to remove. So he has to say there's no encroachment. This is all being deliberately done, keeping in mind that that Shaheen Bagh is densely populated with one particular community, and also it is being done only because of the political motive. Now, Delhi police and paramilitary forces are removing people, and look there, the protesters are climbing these pillars, and they are going upwards. So all these things are being done, and we are capturing it on our camera. They are removing the pillars. This is not, everything is not right if they are removing the pillars in this manner. What is exactly happening, we cannot confirm, but police is standing right there and the pillars are being removed. I think there is some consensus that have been made. The pillars are the illegal encroachment that JCBs have come to remove, and the people are removing it itself. This is what exactly being done. The boys have stood on those pillars, those iron pillars outside this building.
You're telling me the boys are. You're telling me the boys are residents.
This is
all
what
right.
I can understand. Yeah. back to you.
Okay, so Siddhant, bringing us those developments as we see. Again, Shaheen Bagh in focus because of its huge symbolism. This was the site a little more than a year ago of anti-CAA protests. Thousands of people gathered over here for months to protest against the Citizenship Amendment laws. You remember. Now, we're here on the ground right now. I have three colleagues with me, Anshul, Siddhant, and my third colleague, Nikhil. Nikhil is providing us the visuals you can see towards the right of your screen, the overview visuals that you can see. We're getting to capture the entire population present on the ground. Let's go over to Nikhil right now. Nikhil, from where you're standing, tell us a little bit about what you can see, please.
Well, Toya, these are the top angle view, and we are the only channel who have been bringing you the audience as well, the top angle view. As you can see, the JCB has been surrounded by hundreds of people, and as mentioned by the reporters on ground, our senior reporters Anshul Singh and Siddhant Mishra as well, that the locals have outnumbered the number of police. So this clearly states that the officials on the ground were not able to access assess the situation properly beforehand. As we all know that the drive which is now taking place, the anti-encroachment drive at the Shaheen Bagh area, this was pre-scheduled. So it was already in plan. So already they must have taken all the action given the sensitivity in the place, because we have seen how the action broke out in the Jahangirpuri. But a large number of people can be seen here. Number have been outnumbered. Now what we can see in the TV screens, obviously there is a presence of not only Delhi police personnel but even the paramilitary forces have been deployed here. But clearly the inadequate number of police can be seen here. The locals in huge numbers have gathered here. They are protesting against the Delhi police. They are protesting against the MCD officials as well. And now you can see on your TV screens, I would urge my camera person Narayan Singh that the anti-encroachment is now being removed. These are the pillars which are now being removed. But what we believe to the visuals that we can see that this was erected because of some of the painting work, I guess. This is what the prima facie we can see. But as far as Amantullah Khan is concerned, that no illegal encroachment is there, I would urge my camera person Narayan Singh to show you that, see, this is the straight line. If there is no illegal encroachment, then there should have been a straight line in this entire stretch. But clearly you can see that there is, disparity between all the buildings. This is one such building where we are standing currently. This has been extended on the main road. But then now these are the visuals on the left side.
Right. But when, when Amanatullah Khan is saying, when the MLA is saying that he has come to the area, earlier in a bite he was saying that he has gotten the construction that was encroaching removed over there. Does he therefore then have the record to show that he did take action? Tell us.
Well, they are in turn asking the orders from the MCD officials. They are asking that, do you have the written orders for the anti-encroachment drive? So obviously the politics is taking place and
तो क्यों हिंदू मुसलमान करने आए यार, ये तो बताओ। ये रोड पीडब्ल्यूडी का, अगर कहीं इंक्रोच है तो बताओ, मैं साफ करा दूँ। ये खम्बा लगा हुआ है, ये खम्बा लगा हुआ है, यहाँ कौन सी सड़क चलती है? ये खुद मैंने हटवाया यहाँ से, फुटपाथ खुद था, मैंने खुद यहाँ से हटवा कर पीछे ले आया मैं तो खुद इस रोड को क्लियर करना चाहता हूँ। अभी पीडब्ल्यूडी से मैंने एस्टिमेट बनवाया सारा, जहाँ सारा जो ये सारा रेड ड्राइव।
All right, Amanatullah Khan there seems to be saying that he himself is going to get the construction over there removed. And I think it's important. I don't want us to speculate on whether or not what we can see is illegal or not. We will try to get official confirmation on that. Let's go back right now to colleagues that we have on the ground. Again, we have Anshul, Siddhant and Nikhil. We're going to go over now to Siddhant and ask him more. Siddhant, a little while earlier when you were talking with me, you were pointing out the fact that this is news that has taken you in the newsroom by surprise. Part of that was because you were saying that while we knew that something like this was going to take place, the police permissions came through at a very last minute. You were telling us about how that might possibly hinder legal proceedings. Tell us more.
Give me some time to he's speaking to the other channel. Okay. Well, अमान भाई ये बताइए, मैं सुबह से आपसे बात करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, 1 मिनट हट जाइए ना, बात कर लीजिए बगल में खड़े होके। अमान भाई ये बताइए कि अभी क्या कंसेंसस बना है, क्या खुद ही लोग हटाएंगे? क्या खुद ही लोग हटाएंगे?
हाँ, खुद हटा दिया लोगों ने।
खुद हटा दिया। कौन कौन सी जगह है जहाँ इंक्रोचमेंट थी?
देखिए, कालिंदी कुंज रोड पर जो था हटा दिया। वहाँ मस्जिद पर 2 बाथरूम 2 टॉयलेट बने हुए थे, वजू खाना था, वो मैंने हटा दिया। 2 दिन जेसीबी लगा करके। ये इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है, ये तो शटरिंग है। एक आदमी सफेदी कर रहा है, ये भी हम हटवा रहे हैं। और बता दे मुझे, मैं खुद हटवा दूंगा।
किया, उसके बाद भी बुलडोजर आ गया। आप बात
ये तो राजनीति कर रहे हैं, मेरे लोग खुद ऊपर जाएंगे, ये तो राजनीति कर रहे हैं।
आपके लोग ही ऊपर चढ़ के हटा रहे हैं।
हाँ, हमारे हटा रहे थे, हटा दिया पुलिस ने। ये खुद राजनीति करने, फोटो खिंचवाना।
लेकिन इससे पहले जब इंस्पेक्शन के लिए आया था तब आपने बात नहीं की थी?
जब इंस्पेक्शन के लिए आए मैंने सब उसके बाद क्लियर करा दिया। मैं खुद आया, लोगों से मिला, मैंने खुद क्लियर करा दिया।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, बोलिए। लाइव कट रहा है अमन भाई, लाइव कट रहा है। जी जी, हाँ, तो आपने खुद हटवा दिया फिर?
तो अब क्यों आएंगे?
तो अच्छा, आपको क्या बोला था कि अब हम नहीं आएंगे? अब
भाई मैं एसएचओ के पास गया हटवा कर, सारी RWA थी, सारी यहाँ पर सारा जितना मार्केट एसोसिएशन है, मैं खुद गया, मैंने खुद कहा उनसे कि भाई आप यहाँ मैं क्लियर करा चुका हूँ, यहाँ कोई इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है। उसने माना हाँ जी ठीक है, अब हम कोई फोर्स नहीं देंगे, तो फिर क्यों दे दी?
अच्छा, क्यों फोर्स दे दिया? ऐसा अमानतुल्लाह खान का आरोप है कि जब मेरी बात हुई तो उसके बाद मैंने यहाँ सब हटवा दिया, उसके बाद भी इनको फोर्स देकर बुलाया गया। वेरी ड्रामेटिक सीन। अमानतुल्लाह खान इज टॉकिंग हियर विद अस एंड देयर पीपल आर कॉलिंग हिज नेम the time bulldozer reached near the shutter. Now Amanatullah Khan has to say this is a temporary arrangement for the painting purpose, for the reconstruction purpose, has nothing to do with the illegal encroachment. But this is nothing but a politics that bulldozer has been sent. He also has
Tell us, has the bulldozer right now stopped its action on that? Tell us, has the bulldozer stopped taking action right now on the construction, the wooden construction we could see? Are they waiting for the people to take it down right now? What's happening?
Well, yes, that is what I was explaining to you, Toya, that Amanatullah Khan is saying that I have sent my boys to remove this temporary structure. He says that this structure is not a permanent structure and cannot come under the category of illegal encroachment. So he has sent his boys to remove this wooden structure. He also has to say that he himself has removed some of the illegal structures in the area and got assurance from the civic body on that very day that they are not going to carry out any drive. But this drive is only being done because of the political motive. This is what Amanatullah Khan is telling CNN News 18. Now you can see these are Amanatullah Khan's boys. This is what he's saying, and these boys are removing this temporary structure, this shuttering pillar, whatever you call it, themselves, so that bulldozer should not damage the permanent structure. Bulldozer is standing right next to this. The senior officials are also on ground. There is some confusion. The one consensus was also built that, okay, fine, you remove it yourself, we will not bulldoze it. But again, bulldozers have gone near to this structure. Amanatullah Khan is standing right here, taking stock of the situation, asking his boy to remove it immediately. He is making allegation on the corporation. That corporation is doing it because of the political motive. All the illegal structure was removed by me and my boys couple of days. But now he's again heading towards the bulldozer. We are cutting those visuals. We are giving those visuals live. He's again heading towards the bulldozer. Some expected commotion here. He is having heated arguments with the Delhi police. I'm sorry, and with the corporation officials. He is again trying to explain it to them that this cannot come under the category of illegal encroachment. This is a temporary structure. This is a temporary iron structure, not a wooden structure. It's an iron structure for the painting and construction purpose. Has got again just for the whitewash. Some local has told me that because the whitewash is.
Stay one second, Siddhant, stay with me. We have the Delhi BJP chief Adesh Gupta with us right now. Sir, we're watching these live visuals right now. They're distressing. You know, you've got thousands of citizens, it seems, out there protesting against the action from the SDMC. Now, we've just heard from the MLA in the area. He has to say, Amanatullah Khan has to say that he came and he's already gotten the encroachment removed. So why is the SDMC still taking action? Do tell us, sir.
जी देखिए, बुलडोजर अगर चल रहा है तो अतिक्रमण पर चल रहा है, और अगर इन्क्रोचमेंट जब करते हैं तो लोगों को, जो आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस के लोग हैं, वो उसको धर्मनिरपेक्ष यानी सेकुलर बताते हैं। जब उस पर कार्रवाई होती है तो उसको वो सांप्रदायिक चश्मे से देखते हैं। ये जो उनका आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस का चेहरा आज बिल्कुल बेनकाब हो गया है। जो नेता आज वहां पर इंक्रोचमेंट ड्राइव के खिलाफ बुलडोजर के सामने लेटे हुए हैं, मैं आपके चैनल के माध्यम से बता रहा हूं, दिल्ली और देश की जनता देख रही है। आने वाले चुनाव में देश और दिल्ली की जनता उनको भी लिटाने वाली है।
एक सेकंड सर, जब आपने कहा था, नहीं रुकिए सर, जब आपने कहा था कि यहाँ पे इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स हैं, उसका सबूत कहाँ है सर?
देखिए, जो बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्याओं के समर्थन में जो लोग बुलडोजर के सामने लेटे हुए, जो इंक्रोचमेंट ड्राइव के सामने जो कानून की कार्रवाई हो रही है उसके सामने लेटे हुए सारे लोग देख रहे हैं कि जो इंक्रोचमेंट, जब कोई इंक्रोचमेंट करता है तो उसको धर्मनिरपेक्ष बताते हैं, उसके खिलाफ निगम कार्रवाई करता है, दिल्ली पुलिस आती तो उसको सांप्रदायिक हो जाती है। मैं उनसे पूछना चाहता हूं, जहांगीरपुरी में जब कार्रवाई हुई तो वहां तो गुप्ता जी और झा साहब के ऊपर भी बुलडोजर चला था।
मिस्टर
तो
गुप्ता, सर जब आप जब आप बार बार रोहिंग्या मुस्लिम के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, इसका सबूत आपने अभी तक दिल्ली की जनता को नहीं दिखाया है।
मैं बता चुका हूं, केजरीवाल जी ने अभी तक दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट के अंदर 5 साल से केस चल रहा है, पेंडिंग है, दिल्ली सरकार जवाब नहीं दे रही। अगर जवाब वो दे, क्यों नहीं जवाब दे रहे? आप उनको बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्याओं को यूपी के अंदर जब योगी सरकार यमुना की सिंचाई विभाग की जमीन से हटाती है तो ओखला के अंदर, इसी शाहीन बाग और ओखला में वो बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्याओं को आम आदमी पार्टी के विधायक उनको संरक्षण देते हैं और सरकार उनको फ्री में बिजली, फ्री में पानी और 10-10 हजार रुपया भी देते हैं। ये सबूत है नहीं क्या?
सर, अभी हमारे दर्शक आपके साथ हमारे चैनल को देख रहे हैं, बार बार हम देख रहे हैं कि हजारों लोग अभी ग्राउंड पे आ चुके हैं और वो लोग रेजिडेंट्स हैं। ये रेजिडेंट्स यहाँ पे चिल्ला रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे बुलडोजर मत चलाओ। इस पे आपकी क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
बुलडोजर अगर इंक्रोचमेंट पे चल रहा है, अगर इलीगल एक्टिविटी पर चल रहा है, तो किसको ऐतराज होना चाहिए? आप बताइए, आम आदमी पार्टी क्यों ऐतराज कर रही है? क्योंकि उनको वोट बैंक की चिंता है। कांग्रेस क्यों आ गई है? क्योंकि वो वोट बैंक की पॉलिटिक्स कर रहे हैं। वो जिस समय दंगा होता है तो कुछ नहीं कोई बोलता है, जब उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई होती है, उनको पकड़ा जाता है तो सारे आ जाते हैं, वो कोर्ट तक चले जाते हैं उनको बचाने के लिए। देश तो सारा देख रहा है ना।
Alright, so हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद. That's Adesh Gupta, the BJP Delhi chief, repeating an allegation that hasn't been proven yet, that there is a large number of Rohingya Muslims. This is a claim he's made a number of times. Our ground reporters have contradicted it to some degree. Now, we have our ground reporters. I'm going to go back to them to understand more of what's happening right now. Anshul, tell us what's happening right now on the ground, please.
So yes, there was a lot of commotion and the people are trying to remove this illegal structures that is being said to be illegal. This is just something that has been put up for whitewashing, so it remains to be seen how much of these things will be removed from here. Are the construction, are the stairs that have been made here, are these also illegal? So here you can see the senior police officials of the Delhi Police now talking with the local leaders over here, trying to get a form kind of consensus over here so that this drive can be taken out peacefully. I'll just try and show you in the visuals. The locals have already starting removing their encroachments from over here, and the Delhi Police is trying to talk to the local leaders over here, trying to tell them to not participate, trying to tell them to not participate in front of the law, not to take law in their hands, not to stop the law from taking its own course. So yes, there is absolutely a lot of commotion that we are seeing. The Delhi Police trying to form an area, a safe area around which this demolition activity could take place, anti-encroachment activity could take place. People are being removed from this area and a safe zone is being made so that any untoward incident doesn't happen, do not happen at all. Because once a bulldozer runs, we are going to see some debris coming out or something coming out which might actually harm the people who are standing over here. So let me also tell you clearly that there are not many protesters over here. These are just the bystanders who are standing here and just trying to get a sense of what is happening. They're trying to make a sense of what is happening. Only a handful of protesters came up with Amanatullah Khan and Amanatullah Khan. A handful of protesters came with Amanatullah Khan, but the Delhi Police has managed to get them to a side, and a zone has been made in such a way that no person is allowed to enter there, because the demolition drive is going to start any time now, and it is expected that we might get some debris coming out. So yes, the Delhi Police is making sure that no untoward incident happen, no one gets injured.
Anshul,
so yes,
stay with us just a second. I'm now going to go over to Nikhil. For our audiences, Anshul on the left, Nikhil on the right. Nikhil, as you can see, is positioned a little above the action that we're seeing right now. Nikhil, clarify for our audiences right now. We'd seen the MLA in the area, the Aam Aadmi Party's Amanatullah Khan. We saw him make his way, it seemed, towards the bulldozer once again to speak to officials. The bulldozers had come to a stop. What can you see right now? Which direction is Amanatullah Khan heading towards? Is he still standing by? Tell us more.
Well, Toya, as per the details, the local MLA from the Okhla constituency, Amanatullah Khan, he is currently speaking with the officials of the MCD who are present here on the ground. In between, the heated arguments are also taking place, and continuously the local MLA is trying to convince the MCD officials that, see, if there is any illegal encroachment, then we are going to remove it by ourselves. You need not to, you use the bulldozers. But as of now, what we do know from the top angle view is that the JCB has moved a little further, but it also seems at the same time, Toya, that the MCD officials on ground are clearly clueless. They don't know where to start. Initially, they were stationed at a point for about 45 minutes, but now again they have been stationed at this particular point. People have already, the locals have gathered in huge numbers, and they have clearly outnumbered the police force which has been present on the ground. So clearly there is no idea as to where to start, how to take this anti-encroachment drive further. But clearly, as of now, what we do know is that the inadequate forces are there, and there is no clarity from the MCD official side. But clearly, also what you can see from the top angle view is that there is a huge media presence which can be seen here. They have surrounded the JCB. Also, many of the media persons can be seen here. Many of the locals have gathered here. They are having a heated arguments. Also, what we can see, there are some familiar faces as well who can be seen here from the top angle view. There are many of the supporters of Bharatiya Janata Party as well who are here on the ground zero, but they are surely a resident of this particular place. And while speaking to CNN News 18, while speaking to Toya, Adesh Gupta, who is the Delhi BJP chief, he has clearly said that whenever we take the drive further for the anti-encroachment, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party who takes it forward. But then the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party supporters are the one who brings commotion in the same. Now, these are the visuals you can see. These are the iron rods which are now being removed by the local supporters of the local MLA Amanatullah Khan. They are gradually removing the structure. This is the iron rods which were put here. And what we believe, what we can see from the structure on our TV screens is that these are the temporary structures. These are not the permanent illegal structure. They were here for some of the whitewashing of that particular building. But now you can see these are the supporters who are gradually removing the process. They are gradually removing the poles. They are here to make sure that at least they should not get a blot on the area that JCB was used. So the intention is to make sure that if there is any anti-encroachment, any illegality in context to the encroachment, then they are the one who are going to remove it by themselves. But politics is continuously taking place. Both the parties, opposition parties, in fact, the Aam Aadmi Party, who is in the power, and the opposition party, Congress Party, they are clearly opposing this action by the MCD officials. But what we do know, Toya, is that this was a regular drive which is being claimed by the MCD officials.
Nikhil, stay with us just a second. We're going to go over now to Siddhant. Siddhant is on the ground. Also, he's positioned on the ground right now. He's actually close to the MLA Amanatullah Khan. Now, the visuals you can see are of, it seems, workers removing the scaffolding themselves. Let's go over now to Siddhant to understand. Siddhant, a little while earlier, we were watching as Amanatullah Khan actually made his way to go talk to officials once again. Bring us an update from the ground, please.
Well, one thing is for sure, Toya, the corporations here in Delhi are really bad in doing homework. And this is, I am saying very confidently, because last time around also when demolition drive was carried out in Jahangirpuri, there were some structures and the owners were telling us on that day that they had papers, they had legal documents. But despite that, those structures were bulldozed. Now today also, out of this entire stretch of 2-3 kilometers of Shaheen Bagh and Jasola Vihar, they have found this structure which is temporary in nature. This particular iron structure is only for the whitewashing of the house, and they are here to bulldoze this structure. Now Amanatullah Khan has cracked this deal with the corporation staff, and one consensus has been built that the boys of Amanatullah Khan will remove this structure themselves and let JCB not bulldoze this temporary structure. So corporation is really poor as far as planning is concerned. because we saw the same situation in Jahangirpuri. We saw the same situation here in Shaheen Bagh, that it's been more than an hour. The drive has started. But finally, it has come to this temporary structure outside this white bungalow. Now, Amanatullah Khan is right there addressing the media. He said it in the very beginning also that he will not let any bulldozer bulldoze the structure, and he is keeping his promise. He's saying that he's keeping his promise that bulldozers couldn't even touch any of these structures here in Shaheen Bagh. So the Amanatullah Khan's political clout has also increased after this very development, and he has sent his boys
Siddhant, stay with us just a second. We have Khemchand Sharma, the BJP spokesperson. He's with us right now. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for joining us. Right now, we heard the Delhi BJP chief Adesh Gupta. He was with us a little while earlier. He was repeating his claim that demolition is being carried out, anti-encroachment drives are being carried out in these areas because of the presence of migrants, immigrants in his words. Rohingya Muslims was his exact allegation. I want to ask you, sir, why is this being brought up again and again without proof?
No, there is a proof. And you can see the people who are creating obstacles. And AAP goons, particularly Wajid Khan, councillor from that area, and Amanatullah Khan, the MLA from that area. They are trying to save the goons, particularly the Bangladeshi and Rohingya. And there is a proof, and the proof is being given by the media, proof is being given by the...
No, could you, so you're on our channel right now, could you give us proof of any kind, please?
We have seen during the protest in Shaheen Bagh, there was a large number of the people who were not Indians, and many channels have identified them. Many channels have taken their interview. Many
so these are unsubstantiated claims. Also, sir, right now, what Adesh Gupta is saying is that there are thousands and thousands present in this area. Right now, though, our camera people are on the ground.
Right, and
sir,
we stand with our president. He's absolutely correct. We have the evidence. Our leaders will share this. And MCD has the evidence. MCD is taking the actions, right action, but the AAP goons, they are not letting us do the action.
Sir, that doesn't seem to be, our audience is looking at the same visuals as you are right now. That's not what's taking place right now. What's taking place right now is that it seems that the Aam Aadmi Party's Amanatullah Khan has reached some kind of agreement with the SDMC officials. It actually seems like peace is prevailing right now. It seems as if the scaffolding is being taken off. Isn't that a positive sign?
No, because these are not leaders. They are typically goons, because they are trying to save the people who are not Indian, and they are doing illegal activity. You have found how the ED found over the drugs over there.
Sir, you're not engaging with any of the questions I'm asking you over here. They are simply taking out the scaffolding. Peace is prevailing. No violence has taken place. Isn't that a good thing?
That is a good thing. But what is the question? Question is, there is a illegal encroachment over there, and the government is taking action against that, and that drive has to be smoothly carried on. But they are not letting it. That is the question. Why they are not, and who they are, how they can create the obstacle. If they have a problem, they can go to the court. They can approach the court, and the court can intervene. But they don't want to go to the court. They know if they go to the court will also not support them. That is why they are creating the obstacles, and they are trying to stop this action.
All right, Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for joining us. I want to take some of the points that Mr. Sharma has raised right now over to our audience, to our reporters on the ground. Let's go over right now to Anshul. Anshul, I want to ask you, we can see right now as workers take off the scaffolding, audiences can also see that the JCB bulldozers on the spot have actually come to a standstill. Can you tell us, was that scaffolding that we can see outside the building, was that the primary encroachment in the area? Was there other structures that are also being called encroachment?
So yes, there are other structures that are being called encroachment by the local MCD, and as you just saw in the visuals, that this was one of the area that was pointed out by the MCD to be removed. So yes, this is being removed right now. We are seeing slow moving happening. The bulldozer has moved a step back, and just a few minutes ago, as Siddhant was rightly mentioning, that Amanatullah Khan has cracked some sort of a deal with the local MCD workers who were over here, and hence the bulldozer is not working. The people are removing their encroachments themselves. But the question is, if encroachments had to be removed, couldn't this have been done before? Couldn't this have been done a few days ago? so that such a commotion could not have happened. But yes, I'll just try and show you the visuals. There are very few protesters over here, but the crowd that you are seeing actually over here are the locals from the area who are trying to just get a sense of what is happening. They are not protesting, they are just bystanders who are standing over here. There are a handful of protesters who are raising slogans against the government, against the media. So yes, a handful of people are over here who are trying to create a bit of a ruckus. But yes, the Delhi police is also present over here in adequate amount to make sure that law and order is maintained at all point in time. And the work that they have come here to do is carried out in a successful and peaceful manner. So I just try and show you the visuals. The illegal structures that were over here are being removed. This is called encroachment, and this is not a demolition drive that was going to happen over here. It was an anti-encroachment drive, which means that anything illegal that have been made, constructed by the people to facilitate the entry to their shops or something like this, those structures will be removed because those structures are not permitted by the law. Neither they have been permitted by the map that has been passed by the MCD. Their shops are absolutely legal. The people living here, the people earning from here, these shops are legal. But the area around them, the structures that have been made in and around these shops to facilitate the movement of people, this is illegal. So yes, the point being that the MCD now is making sure that all these structures, whatever structures they point out to be removed, that will be removed. And remember, no notices need to be given for this. And since notices were not given of the structures that would be removed, so it is really very difficult to actually point out which are the exact areas, which are the exact positions which will be removed. So yes, the Delhi police is now trying to make sure that the work of the MCD is done in a peaceful manner. Law and order is maintained at all point in time. No untoward incident happens. We are seeing massive deployment of security force in riot gear, in every gear. They are present over here to control any untoward situation. In bits and pieces, we are seeing snowgaring happen by a handful of people. These slogans are against the government. These slogans are against the BJP, and few of these slogans are also against the media. So yes, a few people are actually trying to create a bit of a ruckus, trying to register their protest. But yes, the Delhi police is making sure that they are not given any room whatsoever, and hence they are being cornered. We also saw Amanatullah Khan, who was standing right next to the bulldozer, now has been cornered by the police and security officials, and the area has been absolutely cordoned off to make sure that once the demolition drive started or the deconstruction has started, so this deconstruction, no one gets harmed because of this. So in and around that area, we have seen a cordon off has been made to make sure that no one comes in its ambit and gets injured. So yes, all the precautions are being taken by the Delhi police also, because yes, this is a really very headache that has come to the Delhi police now, to make sure that all the drive that is going to happen should happen at the earliest way possible and in a safe manner possible. Not only this, but the bystanders who have come here to see what is happening, because of them we are seeing this massive traffic jam that is also being open over here, because remember, this road is infamous for its traffic jam, and because of these illegal encroachments, it is being said by the MCD that we see such traffic jams in this area day in, day out. People have to wait here for around hours and hours just to cross this area, and this is one of the main roads which connects the Noida district to the national capital.
Anshul,
so yes,
Anshul, I want to understand from you right now, what is the plan going forward? Tell me over here, is Amanatullah Khan, the agreement that he seems to have reached with the SDMC, is the idea that every single encroachment pointed out by the SDMC will be removed by his workers, the way we're seeing take place right now for just this first one? Is that the idea for the rest of the day?
So that's what Amanatullah Khan said, that we'll remove the encroachments ourselves. He even, while speaking to Siddhant, he said that I've asked my people to remove all the encroachments from the past 5-6 days, and encroachments have been removed. The local councillor of the area has also gone ahead and said that yes, more than 60% of the illegal encroachments have been removed. But there are still very few encroachments that are in this area, and those will be removed. But it is still very unclear what Amanatullah Khan has said. What we know is that Amanatullah Khan has reached a consensus over here to remove this illegal structure. Probably as we go ahead, as the bulldozer goes ahead, we are going to see locals removing encroachments themselves and the bulldozer not being used at all. So yes, Amanatullah Khan is making sure that the bulldozers are not used and all the encroachments are removed. So yes, from both the sides we are seeing that a try is being made to maintain peace, law and order and harmony in this area. But yes, there are a few handful of protesters who are trying to create a bit of a ruckus, but that is also not a very big problem as of now, because the Delhi police is making sure that they are not given any room whatsoever, and anyone who comes out trying to protest, they are being detained on the spot. They are being detained and are being taken away. So yes, the Delhi police is really very vigilant over here to make sure that no one comes in the way of hindering the laws. So yes, Amanatullah Khan is what I can tell you right now, that at least this structure, the bulldozer is not going to be raised on this structure. Once this structure is removed, we are going to see the future course of action. What are the other points on which we might see the bulldozer going ahead? Toya.
Anshul, thank you for that. We're going to go over now to my colleague Siddhant to understand more about the ground. Siddhant, for our audiences, can you describe the ground mood right now? Have tensions calmed after Amanatullah Khan has gone and spoken to the SDMC? Is there a slight drop in the level of tension in the area right now? My colleague Siddhant connecting with us. Let's see if he can hear me right now. Siddhant, are you able to hear me? All right, we'll re-establish our connection with other colleagues. As I said, Anshul is on the ground. My colleague Nikhil is also with us. We're going to go over now to Nikhil. The camera towards the right of your screen are visuals provided to us by Nikhil. Nikhil is being able to provide us visuals that are from the top to give you an overview of the situation. My colleague Anshul, as you can see on the left side of your screens, he's present on the ground right now. He's present next to police forces. He's present next to protesters. Let's go over to Anshul now to ask him more details. Anshul, tell me a little bit more about this morning. I know, and we were reporting this, that our own reporters were taken by surprise. We knew that this was going to happen. However, the fact that the police permission came through, that happened in a very last-minute way, it seemed. Could you tell us more?
Bulldozer is now going ahead to the second location. It remains to be seen where is that second location where the bulldozer will now go and remove illegal structures, because there was a lot of crowd present over here, but as you can see in the visuals, there is not any crowd in front of here. So it is going to probably be an easy job for this bulldozer to remove this encroachment. It remains to be seen what are the areas that are now being targeted by the bulldozers. But yes, the structures that were over there, we saw we were showing our visuals, the illegal structure, the structure that was made for whitewashing is what being said, has now been removed by the locals themselves. They have made sure they have thrown it down. So yes, the bulldozer has now gone ahead and has gone ahead to some second location where we might see some more action coming in, but it is still very unclear where is that place, what are the exact points that have been earmarked by the MCD. We'll just try and find out that in a moment, Toya.
Okay, visuals on your screen right now. People standing by. We're going to go over now to my colleague Nikhil. Nikhil, you might remember, was perched slightly higher than the other two ground reporters. From where his camera is, we're being able to see an overview of the situation. Nikhil, Anshul was pointing out that the bulldozer has just moved away. It's now moving towards another part. Could you bring us more information? Also tell me, has the MLA Amanatullah Khan, has he also moved?
So as per the details, the Amanatullah Khan, who's the local MLA, he is currently present here right with the local supporter of his. But as mentioned by Anshul, who is there on the ground zero on the main road, the JCB has moved further. And as far as we can see from the top angle view, it has taken a right turn towards the Kalindi Kunj side. Because had they have taken the left turn, they would have entered inside the Shaheen Bagh area, where the different hawkers are being said, which are the different addresses of Shaheen Bagh are there. But as far as we can see, it has taken a right turn. It has not yet entered the left side of the area. But what we do know is that the temporary structure has been removed. I would urge my camera person Narayan Singh Thakur to show you the visuals that these are the iron rods which have been removed by the local supporters of the local MLA Amanatullah Khan. It has been removed by the local people. Only no bulldozer, no JCB machine was used during the process, and some of the wires have also been broken. And what we also know, Toya, is that 100 personals of CRPF have also been deployed here to maintain the law and order situation. And clearly we can see that commotion is here on the ground. Clearly they were raising the slogans against the media, against the police personals, against the MCD officials. But also what we can see here is that a while back the JCB machine was stationed here. Clearly Delhi MCD has no idea as to where to move further because they were saying that there are many of the illegal encroachment which needs to be removed. But as of now, the JCB machine has not been, it has not been straight out there on the action. It has just been moving likewise as if they are going clueless. So what we are expecting is that it has gone to some other location. They are also ascertaining as to where to move next, and clearly there is no proper planning from the side of the MCD officials. Given the fact what they had seen on the Jahangirpuri demolition site, they should have been better prepared, Toya, but clearly a poor show by all the agencies concerned on the ground. Even the security here present on the ground zero are not adequate enough, because given the sensitivity in the nature, given the sensitive location, they should have deployed proper police personnel. Also, there are a bunch of people you can see on the TV screen. The local MLA Amantullah Khan is currently speaking to the local people, and also what we believe is that he is also speaking to the officials of the MCD who are here on the ground zero. But the point here, Toya, they were here for about 30 minutes. JCB was here for about 30 to 45 minutes. Just only to remove the temporary structure, which was what we believe is because of the whitewashing program. But as of now, it has moved further. It has taken a right turn towards the Kalindi Kunj side. But also, I would urge Narayan Singh Thakur to show you the other side of the road. Both the carriageway have been blocked by the local people. There are a lot of people who are present on the ground zero. The traffic movement is really very slow. There is not even proper deployment of the traffic police from the Delhi state. So clearly it is a poor show from every concerned agency in the national capital Delhi. Who is facing the burden? It is the common people who are coming all the way side from the Noida district and moving towards the side of the Faridabad and the South Delhi. Clearly there is heavy traffic jam on both the carriageway, and also these are the visuals that thousands of people have now gathered here. There is presence of police personnel, media and the local politicians as well. The BJP has already intensified, and you have rightly pointed out to the BJP leaders. You have asked the proper question as to, they were referring continuously to the Rohingyas and the Bangladeshi, but they have not given a proper evidence of the same. They are just making false statements. False not to say, but they are making some of the statements which they have not provided some of the evidences to. On the one side, they are talking about the Rohingyas and the Bangladeshis. On the other side, they are talking about the illegal encroachment. So they should also they should also come with a proper clarity as to whom they want to target or what kind of action they want to take on the people. So these are the visuals on the ground zero. Clearly, the commotion can be seen here. It was somewhere expected. And not only the Shaheen Bagh area, as per the planning of the MCD officials, it is the regular drive which keeps on happening in different area of the national capital Delhi. And what we do know, Toya, also that the MCD has been unified. So starting from 18th, all the different MCDs, be it the South MCD, North MCD or the East MCD, they are going to be removed. Only single MCD is going to be there. So the intention from the mayors of the MCD is to make sure that the action on the ground zero take place. They also want the media attention as well. This is the reason why they are choosing the location which are sensitive of the location. But having said that, there are other locations as well, Toya, where the anti-encroachment drives take place. It has been happening for a long time now. It is pre-scheduled. On 5th of May, they already notified that the JCB action is going to take place against the anti-encroachment.
Nikhil, can I check with you here,
area.
wherever you are standing right now, are there any residents present around you?
So, Toya, we are currently on the terrace of a particular restaurant. So, these are not the residents of the area. On the ground zero, what we believe are surely the residents or the locals. The reporter on the ground zero would better be able to speak to local of the this entire area. But clearly, they are in the anger because a while back they were raising slogans. And this is not the first time, Toya. We have seen in the past year as well, in the year 2020, when the anti-CAA and NRC protest was taking place. I was here covering that on the ground zero. It lasted for about 3 months, and we all know how it was carried out, how the dadis of the Shaheen Bagh were there on the forefront, and how the hostile nature was seen on the media persons as well. So we have to be also cautious while speaking to any of the people, because people are surely much aggressive here on the ground zero. Very little is there on their side to understand, because they are also the one who says that this is a retaliation from the MCD official, because the BJP is the one who is ruling the MCD in the national capital Delhi for 15 years now.
Exactly, this is a community that has had a hard couple of years, as my colleague is reminding us right now. This is a community that, as he's saying, just 2 years ago saw anti-CAA protests also take place. Having to grapple with that has possibly led to a sense of alienation with the media in the area. Now, let's go over now to my other colleagues. We have Anshul Singh, he's on the ground. We also have Siddhant. We're going to go over now to Anshul to ask him more. Anshul, we saw the JCB bulldozers move out of the area. Is it safe to say they've moved out completely? Are residents breathing a sigh of relief? What's going on?
No, so I'll just try and show you in the visuals. The bulldozer is still here. The senior MCD officials are also still here. They are trying to make sure what are the next points are going to be where we are going to see the bulldozer action happening. So yes, in the next few minutes we might likely see that some more action is taking place. But I just tried to speak to a few of the police officials over here, and they said they also have no idea where the bulldozer is going to go next. So the bulldozer is waiting over here. This is bang opposite the exact place where the illegal construction was demolished just a few seconds ago. Now the bulldozer is bang opposite that area and is still going ahead. In the next few minutes it will be more clear what are the locations that the bulldozer is going to work upon. Senior MCD officials are already on the ground. Senior police officials are already on the ground. They are trying to maintain peace over here. But yes, the bulldozer is coming forward. There is very knowledge with the local police over here. They do not know what is the next location going to be. But yes, destruction is going to happen. Anti-encroachment drive is going to continue over here. Amongst the protests, we saw a handful of protesters over here who tried to create a bit of a ruckus, but they were absolutely cornered by the Delhi police.
Anshul, stay with us. We're now going to go over to my colleague Siddhant Mishra. He's also present on the ground. Siddhant, could you give us an update on... All right, we'll try to reconnect. I'm sorry, we actually haven't been able to establish that connection. But I'm going to go back to Anshul and ask him. Anshul, I'd actually wanted to go over to Siddhant to ask him for an update on the Aam Aadmi Party MLA Amanatullah Khan. He's the person who it seemed had reached some kind of agreement with the SDMC. Where can you see him right now? Where is he?
Amanatullah Khan, as of now, cannot be seen anywhere. The bulldozer is going in its own direction. Amanatullah Khan cannot be seen anywhere as of now, is what I can confirm it to you. All his supporters are still at that very location where we saw the initial deconstruction happening, should I say. So yes, Amanatullah Khan and his supporters are present there, but on this side, on the other side of the road, there are no locals, there are no protesters present over here, no bystanders over here as of now. And the MCD bulldozer is going ahead, trying to locate the next spot where this anti-encroachment drive will be carried out. So yes, a very interesting next few minutes remains to be seen if at all they find that spot. Will Amanatullah Khan now come to this area, because all this area comes under his jurisdiction. He is the local MLA from here. So yes, interesting to see if Amanatullah Khan will be able to come here. But yes, as you can see in the visuals, this is the MCD bulldozer going ahead along with the police security. Police is making sure that no untoward incidents happen. No protesters come in front of the bulldozer trying to stop the demolition drive, or should I say the anti-encroachment drive from happening. So yes, in the next few minutes we might get to see some more structures being razed down.
All right, Anshul, tell us also, is there only one bulldozer present, or has there only been one bulldozer present since 11 a.m.?
So yes, it is the only bulldozer that has come here. Not many equipments have come here. Very few MCD workers are over here. This one bulldozer and two South MCD trucks to take out the debris. So these are the only deployment that we can see of MCD over here, the equipment of MCD that is going to be used. Nothing more.
All right, we'll go back now.
No big demolition drive is going to happen, but
Anshul, unfortunately, I think our connection with you is breaking. I'm going to go back to my colleague Nikhil right now to ask him more about the developments as we can see them right now. Nikhil, tell us. Anshul was saying that there is only, and there has only been in the last hour, one bulldozer present in the area. Now, a little while earlier, it seemed as if that bulldozer had made its way towards Kalindi Kunj. It seemed as if residents could breathe a sigh of relief. I want to understand, my colleague Arunima is now on the ground. She's going to be bringing us all this coverage live from the location. We'll go over to her now. All right, we'll try to establish that connection with my colleague Arunima. Again, we've been following action on the ground since 11 a.m. when one JCB bulldozer came over, deployed very much by the SDMC to do what the SDMC is calling an anti-encroachment drive. Now, what we've heard from in the last hour is Amanatullah Khan, the AAP MLA. He was present on the ground. He brokered some kind of deal, it seemed, with the SDMC. My colleague Arunima is with us once again. She's on the ground. She's going to be taking over and bringing you coverage. We'll go over to her.
I lost your voice in between, but there was a bulldozer which has just moved down the road. This actually one carriageway. This is the carriageway which brings you from Delhi towards Noida side. This is completely jammed for traffic. On the other side, there is no traffic movement at all. And you can see the police deployment. This is an overbridge from which we are coming to you live. There are a lot of local residents who are just standing and seeing what is really happening. Police deployment there on the other side. There are paramilitary personnel, about 10 companies of CRPF which were at the disposal of Delhi Police. They have joined in as well. So that carriageway which comes from Noida towards the Delhi side, that is not open to traffic at all. The one that goes towards Noida is completely jam-packed. Like I said, one bulldozer has moved away, but the locals are still there, still waiting to see what the plan of action of the South MCD is.
All right, my colleague Arunima over there bringing us more of an update on what we can see on the ground, particularly the movements as we can see of the bulldozers. Let's go over right now. Let me check to understand who we do have with us right now. That was Arunima, but I'll check to understand if we have Nikhil, Anshul, or which of the colleagues we do have right now, or Siddhant. We'll connect again with my colleague Arunima. She's on the ground. Arunima, over to you.
Thank you so much there. So like we have been reporting, viewers, Shaheen Bagh is the next target after Jahangirpuri. The South MCD has started removing encroachments here, and it has led to a lot of clash. Okay, now we were just showing you that carriageway which is from Noida to Delhi had been stopped for traffic. Now the traffic movement has begun, even as the paramilitary personnel there begun a march kind of. There are about 10 companies of paramilitary, 10 companies of CRPF which are marching down. So even that carriageway has now been opened up to the traffic. My colleagues there on the ground, I think Nikhil is there with me. Nikhil, if you can hear me, we are showing pictures of the second carriageway also being thrown open to traffic right now. Can you confirm to us about the development on the ground? We saw one bulldozer moving out. Okay, I'll try and go back to Siddhant, but Siddhant, if you can hear me, can you give us an update if you have managed to speak to any officials? What's the plan of action? Because we can see the carriageway is being thrown open to traffic and at least one bulldozer moved out.
Well, that's correct. After an hour of anti-encroachment drive, bulldozers came near to this shop where I'm reporting from, but they did not bulldoze it. One consensus was built between Amanatullah Khan and civic body, and after which Amanatullah Khan's boys and even this shop's staff climbed this iron structure, and they themselves got it down. They themselves removed it. We'll speak to the people, those who work in the shop. Sir, ये बताइए कि ये स्ट्रक्चर आपने क्यों लगा के रखा हुआ था, और क्या आपको कोई नोटिस दिया गया था?
नहीं, ये स्ट्रक्चर हटाने के लिए कोई नोटिस नहीं दिया गया था। हुआ ये था कि अभी कुछ दिन पहले आंधी आई थी, तो ये जो शॉप है, ये वाला बोर्ड जो है वो नीचे गिर गया था, क्योंकि काफी पुराना बोर्ड लगा हुआ था। तो इस बोर्ड को दोबारा से लगाने के लिए ये एक आयरन स्ट्रक्चर खड़ा किया गया था, क्योंकि बोर्ड जो है वो ऊपर चढ़ के नहीं लग रहा था, और उसकी सिक्योरिटी के लिए, ताकि जो खड़े होकर लगाए उनकी सिक्योरिटी के लिए आयरन स्ट्रक्चर यहाँ पे खड़ा किया। टेम्परेरी था, ये हटना था, क्योंकि देखिए बोर्ड का काम अभी पूरा नहीं हुआ है, बस इसीलिए था। तो मैंने कोई भी नोटिस या कुछ नहीं, इस तरह का कोई नोटिस नहीं था, तो कुछ मिला नहीं, कोई कंस्ट्रक्ट। इन्हें ये दिखा बस, और ये कोई देख के भी बता देगा कि ये कोई या तो व्हाइट वॉशिंग के लिए लगती है ये चीजें,
ठीक है, या फिर बोर्ड के लिए लगा था अभी, ठीक है। अब बस उनको कुछ मिला नहीं तो यहाँ पे
तो एक्चुअली वो आए तो थे इंक्रोचमेंट ढूंढने पर, इंक्रोचमेंट पहले ही हट गया था,
पहले
यहाँ सड़क पे
है ही नहीं ना, यहाँ पे है, हट गया नहीं, है ही नहीं। इस रोड पे आप यहाँ से घूम के आ जाइए, है ही नहीं, आप किसी और दिन भी आ जाएंगे। नहीं,
कह रहे थे कि जो सड़क पे लगता है उसको हटाना है।
नहीं, पे तो कुछ लगता नहीं है सड़क पे, बस यहाँ पे पार्किंग की गाड़ियाँ खड़ी होती हैं और कुछ नहीं होता है
उधर तक। अच्छा, तो बस ये आए और आप लोगों ने बोला कि हम ये खुद ही निकालेंगे।
हाँ, हम लोगों ने बोला कि आप लोग हटाएंगे तो ज्यादा ये दिक्कतें होगी, हम लोग खुद हटवा देते हैं। तो यहाँ पे जितने भी बॉयज काम करते हैं सबने मिलकर खुद गिरा दिया। तो अब इसको आप लोग हटा देंगे? आज ये आपका लग चुका है, जिनका शटरिंग वाला है वो अपना आप लेके जाएगा, जिनका शटरिंग बोर्ड का काम अभी कंप्लीट हुआ नहीं है। देखिए आप, बोर्ड का काम कंप्लीट अभी हुआ नहीं।
ठीक है, very interesting story. So these locals are telling me that this temporary iron structure was created, was placed here because of the winds. The hoarding of the shop came down few weeks back. So to put that hoarding back, this structure was created here, and the hoarding work was still going on. This publicity work was still going on. But before that, MCD teams arrived, and these shopkeepers brokered deal with them. They convinced MCD that we will bring down this structure by ourselves. You don't bulldoze it, and MCD agreed, and finally this structure has been removed, and the shopkeepers are asking us to show this publicity. So this is a publicity, this is a banner, this is a poster for which to place this structure was created. So this is what local shopkeepers, the staff of the shop are telling us, that this was not a permanent structure. This cannot come under the category of illegal encroachment. Such structures can be found everywhere in national capital, wherever whitewashing work is going on, wherever construction work is going on. So this is not a permanent structure, because they could not find any encroachment in the entire area. So this piece of
right. So Siddharth, I get that an amicable solution has been found, but all this also saw a lot of heated arguments, especially when Aam Aadmi Party's lawmaker Amanatullah Khan stepped in. Nikhil, I believe you are at that spot where Amanatullah Khan is once again speaking to the press. Over to you.
कि ओखला में कहीं इंक्रोचमेंट है तो हम उसको खुद हटा लेंगे।
सर, देश में कोर्ट है तो बुलडोजर क्यों किसी का घर तोड़ेगी?
भाई मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, ये बात बैठकर हो सकती है, वहाँ के लोकल विधायक से हो सकती है, वहाँ के RWS से हो सकती है, वहाँ की आवाम से हो सकती है। कि अगर लगता है किसी रोड पर दिल्ली में कहीं भी इंक्रोचमेंट है तो वो उनको साइड कर लेंगे। आप किसी गरीब का नुकसान तो मत करो। आप कहीं आपने बुलडोजर चला दिया जहांगीरपुरी में, वो ठेली वाले मेरे पास आए थे कि हमारी ठेली बर्बाद हो गई, हमारा रोजगार बर्बाद हो गया। पूरी दिल्ली में आप रोजगार तो दे नहीं सकते, आप उजाड़ क्यों रहे हो? आप तोड़ो मत, आप कह दो कि ये गलत हो रहा है, आप पीछे कर ले। इनको फोटो कैसे खिंचता, ये कैसे दिखाते? देखो अमानतुल्लाह ने पुलिस, और सिर्फ ये दिखाने के लिए कि साहब इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है। तो मैं तो आऊंगा जब मेरे आह्वान पे लोगों ने मेरा साथ दिया, जब हटा लिया तो ये नहीं है, ये तो मैं तो आऊंगा। तो जब मैं यहाँ आ गया तो इंक्रोचमेंट यहाँ था ही नहीं, तो वो चले गए वापस। अब ये दिखाया उन्होंने, ये दिखाएगी बीजेपी कि देखो अमानतुल्लाह ने शाहीन बाग में अतिक्रमण नहीं हटाने दिया। अमानतुल्लाह ने शाहीन बाग में अतिक्रमण खुद से, जो उसे लगा कि अतिक्रमण एक तो था ही नहीं, जो खुद से जा करके घूम करके हटा दिया। तो फिर मैं तो फिर क्या रह गया? फिर क्यों आए हो यहाँ पर? सिर्फ राजनीति, तो माहौल खराब करने की कोशिश की।
Right, so that's Pramod, just continue to show them there what the situation is like here. Situation for now has been amicably resolved. The shops are also opening up, and Amanatullah Khan has also spoken. My colleague Anshul also keeping an eye on the ground. Anshul, from the spot that I can see the locals now moving into their shops. Traffic has also been thrown open. What is it that you can tell us in terms of an update?
So yes, Ranima, I'd like to bring this update to our viewers that the bulldozer has left from Shaheen Bagh now. Just a few seconds ago, senior officials senior MCD officials have also left, and the bulldozer has also left from here. This is the road on which I'm standing. This road leads from Noida to Jasola. So yes, the bulldozer took a U-turn after the anti-encroachment drive that we saw on the other side of the road. The bulldozer took a U-turn, and now the bulldozer has left from here back to its own home. So yes, we can now confirm that the demolition drive for today here in Shaheen Bagh area is over. The security personals that you see in the visuals over here, they are also packing up now. It seems that the drive has been finished, and they have got the message that the drive has been finished and there is no more need for security. On the other side where Siddhant was standing, we saw, and as you rightly mentioned, that people have started moving inside their shops. So yes, things are getting back to normal. A big win for we should congratulate the Delhi Police for the kind of work that it did and maintained law and order and peace even when there was so much drama and protest happening over here. So yes, the demolition drive that was carried out, we can now confirm that has finished now, Arunima.
Yes, and all that is left now are curious onlookers. You can see, Pramod, if you just turn around and show them, people with their mobile phones clicking videos, clicking selfies, trying to capture this movement. This is the day and age of social media. So they are putting out on social media what is happening there. The traffic is back to normal. You know, the Daisy Dale Senior Secondary School bus is there on your left, Pramod, there. So school children also who were in this area. There were some parents we met, especially parents who had children in preschool. They were kind of worried that how this situation will unfold. But school buses have started moving about as well. Here behind me, you can see even on the service lane, the traffic is now moving. The snarl will take some time to clear out, but even the shops here have now opened up. So like my colleagues have been reporting as well, the situation has been resolved for now. The bulldozer we saw take a U-turn and move out from that area. The locals have assured that whatever encroachment is there, whatever MCD has pointed out towards encroachment, locals have assured that they will ensure those encroachments are removed. So for now, the crisis that we saw in northwest Delhi, that kind of a situation has not risen here in Shaheen Bagh. The South MCD, the locals here and the police have managed to come to a consensus. Let's see how it develops from here. My colleague Nikhil, Siddhant and Anshul have been tracking this story. Anshul, if I can come back to you and if I can also get in a clarification if Siddhant and Nikhil are also with us. But Anshul, from the time you came here, it took about 2 hours to resolve this entire crisis. Can you just give us a step-by-step understanding of what happened?
So yes, it took more than 2 hours. Initially, the permission was granted that adequate amount of police force will be allowed at 10:30 a.m., which was already very late. At around 11 a.m., we saw two trucks of MCD to take out the debris, and at around 11:30, we saw the bulldozer coming up over here. And since 11:30, about half an hour, 45 minutes, we saw a handful of Congress workers protesting right in front of the bulldozer, not allowing the bulldozer to work. Now, since the protest started, it took some time for the police forces and the security forces to come over here, and they made sure that these protesters are removed from there. Many of the protesters were detained by the police and were taken to the nearby police station. So at around 12:15, we can say that the demolition drive started from there at the very area where we saw that illegal structure was deconstructed by the locals over there. Initially, it was seen that the people were trying, that the locals, that the JCB was trying to remove it, but Amanatullah Khan came there and told the MCD workers that you do not demolish this, we'll take this out on our own. And around 12:30, it took another half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour time for that thing to come down to be disconstructed. And now the bulldozer went ahead, took a U-turn and has now returned back to Delhi. So yes, we can now confirm this to our viewers that demolition drive for today has finished as of now, at least in this area of Shaheen Bagh, Arunima.
Right. So for now, the bulldozer has left the Shaheen Bagh area. We have been showing you what really is happening there. There are locals here who are now going back to police deployment, but mostly there are locals and the media contingent. But Siddharth, if you can clarify, as far as the shopkeepers here are concerned, the locals here are concerned, जी कहिए. Minority के chairman नीचे आए हुए हैं. Okay, so the locals here tell me that the Minority Commission chairperson has also arrived here. We'll try and take a voice. But Siddharth, if you can come in, is for the locals here, for the shopkeepers here, is the crisis over for good? Or can the bulldozer come back? What is it that has been decided?
Okay, so Arunima, right now I'm standing near the structure which was raised down by not by the bulldozers, by the local residents and the shopkeepers. We'll speak to one of the shopkeeper. Sir, आगे भी क्या इस बात को लेके संदेह है दिमाग में कि बुलडोजर कभी भी आ सकते हैं?
बिल्कुल सर, अब तो लग ही रहा है कि बुलडोजर कभी भी आ सकता है। उन लोगों का कहना यह है कि तो ये भी लीगल है, इसको भी तोड़ेंगे। हाँ, ठीक है, पहले तो वो लोग यही बोल रहे थे। हाँ,
और ये कितने सालों से बोर्ड लगाया?
ये तो लगभग जब से ये बिल्डिंगें बनी हैं तब से बिल्डिंग इन्होंने जो इनके ऑनर्स हैं उन्होंने तब से किराए पे दिए, तभी से लोगों ने बोर्ड्स वगैरह लगा रखे हैं।
बोर्ड देख सकते हैं, लीगल है बोर्ड।
हाँ, बोर्ड
और इसी को लगाने के लिए लगाया गया था,
सेटिंग इसलिए लगाई गई थी क्योंकि ये बोर्ड हवा में गिर गया था, इसको लगाने के लिए इन्होंने सेटिंग लगाई थी।
अच्छा,
ठीक है, बस यही था। अभी तो देखिए कंप्लीट काम हुआ भी नहीं है इसका।
हाँ, कंप्लीट काम नहीं हुआ। तो ये बताइए कि आगे भी यहाँ पे एक डर का माहौल रहेगा कि बुलडोजर कभी भी आ जाए?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर, अभी तो रहेगा। जैसे कि कार्रवाई चली रही है एमसीडी की, तो लगता है कि कुछ भी हो सकता है।
लेकिन 1 घंटे के अंतराल में सिर्फ आपकी एक बिल्डिंग मिली और ये टेम्परेरी स्ट्रक्चर मिला और कुछ मिला नहीं जाता है
सर। एक्चुअली में यहाँ पे एनक्रोचमेंट कोई खास है भी नहीं। ठीक है, ये तो रोड है। और रोड
जो सड़क पे लोग बैठते हैं आगे, जो जैकेट्स बेचते हैं और
वो शाम के टाइम वो फेरी वाले वगैरह होते हैं, वो आगे की तरफ बैठते हैं, बहुत आगे जाकर के।
शाम के वक्त
वो शाम के वक्त बैठते हैं। इस वक्त तो वैसे भी कोई नहीं बैठता, इतनी धूप में कौन बैठेगा? यही है।
So there you see the shopkeepers of Shaheen Bagh are telling me that in almost 2 hours of anti-encroachment drive, they could only find this temporary iron structure. This structure was built, this structure was made to replace the hoarding, the publicity of the shop. And for that purpose, this temporary structure was made, which was brought down by the shopkeepers, boys, and the local boys only. They in a way had made a consensus, build a consensus with the authority that don't bulldoze this structure. We ourselves will bring it down, and that is exactly what happened after the interference of Amanatullah Khan. Now there was couple of other areas which were mapped. We've been told that the bulldozers have gone there. The police deployment have been reduced in this entire patch, in this entire stretch. The locals are interacting with media. They are talking to media, and in fact, the civic officials have also gone back. So situation is peaceful. Situation turned tense after the entry of Amanatullah Khan. After a few of the protesters started protesting right next to the bulldozer, and they were not letting bulldozer to move an inch. At that point in time, there was tension, there was commotion also. Several detentions have also been made by Delhi Police, but now finally the situation is peaceful, and on the name of anti-encroachment drive, only this temporary structure of iron has been brought down, that too by the locals only. Back to you.
Right. And how is this different from what we saw?
संरक्षण दो, इसीलिए वहां लेटने का काम कर रहे हैं। मैं आज इस आपके माध्यम से उनको कहना चाहता हूं, चिंता मत करिए। जो लोग अतिक्रमण को बचाने के लिए, जो बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्याओं के अतिक्रमण को बचाने के लिए, आतंक फैलाने वाले लोगों का अतिक्रमण बचाने के लिए जो बुलडोजर के सामने लेटे हैं, जनता भी उनको लिटाने वाली है। जनता भी जल्दी उनको लिटा देगी, क्योंकि अतिक्रमण किसी धर्म का नहीं होता है। अगर यहां पर आतंक फैलाने के लिए लोग आते हैं और उनको संरक्षण, उनका समर्थन आम आदमी पार्टी, कांग्रेस के लोग कर रहे हैं, तो इससे ज्यादा दुर्भाग्य कोई नहीं हो सकता। और मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि आतंक जो फैलाता है, जो बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या है, जब उसका बम यहां फटता है तो वो किसी धर्म नहीं देखता है, जाति नहीं देखता है, मजहब नहीं देखता है। मजहब देखकर बम नहीं फटेगा, मजहब देखकर बम यहां फटना है, यहां फटेगा, वहां फटना नहीं है, वहां नहीं फटेगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा। जब बम फटता है, जब आतंक होता है, तो उसका शिकार, उसकी प्रताड़ना सबको झेलनी पड़ती है। धर्म जाति का कोई आधार नहीं है। इसलिए मैं हाथ जोड़कर प्रार्थना करता हूं कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी वालों से कि इसको धर्म से मत जोड़ो, इसको किसी भी जाति मजहब से मत जोड़ो। जो आतंकी है वो आतंकी है, उसकी जाति मजहब नहीं है। जो बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या जो इस देश के नहीं है, उनको इस देश की किसी भी चीज पर कोई अधिकार नहीं है। वो हमारा रास्ता रोके, सड़क रोके,
इस पर उनका कोई अधिकार नहीं है। और अगर अतिक्रमण के खिलाफ कार्रवाई होती है जहांगीरपुरी के अंदर, तो गुप्ता जी और झा साहब का भी ऊपर कार्रवाई होती है, लेकिन तब उस कार्रवाई को नहीं देखा जाता। और आज जिस तरह से जो आम आदमी पार्टी कांग्रेस के नेता जिन लोगों के अतिक्रमण को बचाने के लिए बुलडोजर के सामने लेटे हैं, उनको देश और दिल्ली की जनता देख रही है। उनको बहुत जल्दी सबक मिलेगा और दिल्ली की जनता उनको लिटा देगी, क्योंकि वो आतंकियों के समर्थन में आए, वो बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या के समर्थन में आए। आपने देखा किस तरह से बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या, और मैं ये बड़ी जिम्मेदारी के साथ कह रहा हूं कि ये निगम की पहली कार्रवाई नहीं है। इस अप्रैल महीने के अंदर, अप्रैल के बाद आज मई हो गया है, इस सवा महीने के अंदर ये 40 बार कार्रवाई हो चुकी है। चाहे मदनपुर खादर हो, बदरपुर हो, ओखला हो, किराड़ी हो, रिठाला हो, रोहनी हो, करोलबाग हो, हर जगह कार्रवाई चल रही है। लेकिन जिस तरह से इस बात को सांप्रदायिक आधार बनाया जा रहा है, ये बिल्कुल गलत है। जब कोई अतिक्रमण करता है तो वो धर्मनिरपेक्ष हो जाता है। जब अतिक्रमण के ऊपर कार्रवाई निगम कर रहा है तो उसको सांप्रदायिक बता रहे हो। जब कोई दंगा फैला रहा है तो कोई नहीं बोल रहा है, और जब दंगाइयों के ऊपर कार्रवाई होती है तो उसको सांप्रदायिक चश्मे से देखते हैं। तो ये जो चश्मा है, आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस जो अपीजमेंट की राजनीति कर रहे हैं, तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति कर रहे हैं, उनको आज ये सबक जरूर मिलेगा। जो आज इस अतिक्रमण के खिलाफ कार्रवाई, जो बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या और गैर कानूनी रूप से इस दिल्ली के अंदर आतंक फैलाने का काम करने वाले, अगर उनके ऊपर एक कार्रवाई चली है और उसके सामने जो लोग बुलडोजर के आगे लेटे हैं, उनको जनता लिटाने वाली है। ये बात मैं कहना चाहता हूं। धन्यवाद।
हेलो 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 हेलो, चल रहा है ये माइक?
Press conference coming back to Shaheen Bagh. There, the paramilitary personnel of CRPF, about 10 companies, still doing their confidence building exercise, marching up and down that road. On this side of the road, which is the carriageway towards Noida, shops have now started to open. The traffic is clogged, but shops have started, to open here. There is an update that we have. Let's cut to that.
लैंग्वेज में आपको इसकी जानकारी दूंगा, बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है। आज पंजाब के अंदर अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने, भगवंत मान जी ने एक मीटिंग ली कि असीं नशे नूं खत्म करना है पंजाब च। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने हुणे ट्वीट किया है और भगवंत मान जी ने ट्वीट किया है कि पंजाब नूं नशा मुक्त करन जा रहे हैं। मैं पंजाब के लोगों नूं खास तौर पर याद कराउणा चाहुंदा है, ये वही भगवंत मान जी ते अरविंद केजरीवाल ने जिहड़े कह रहे सीगे साडी
All right, so from Shaheen Bagh, once again coming live to you to show you how the bulldozer threat for the locals here have, for now, temporarily that threat has gone. The bulldozer has taken a U-turn and left. Traffic is normal. Meanwhile, we have the news coming in that Supreme Court could hear that petition which was filed about this at around 2 o'clock. Siddhant is continuing to track this story. So Siddhant, for now, the crisis for the shopkeepers, for the locals is over. They have managed to evade that crisis, but the Supreme Court will hear the matter at 2 o'clock. Can you give us more details?
Well, that's correct. There was one attempt that was made to file petition in Supreme Court against the demolition drive in Jasola and Shaheen Bagh. Now the news that we are getting from Supreme Court is that Supreme Court has finally agreed to hear the petition, and at around 2 p.m. the petition will be heard. Remember, Arunima, last time around when demolition drive was going out in Jahangirpuri, similar petition was filed in the Supreme Court, and in half an hour stay was secured from Supreme Court, and after which the bulldozers will stop in Jahangirpuri. This time around, everything was kept under the wraps, and in a surprising way, we got the confirmation this morning that in next half an hour, the anti-encroachment drive is going to start in Shaheen Bagh. In order to not give window to the left parties, Brinda Karat and the others, those who can move Supreme Court and can get stay again. That was deliberately done, that in the morning this news came out that anti-encroachment drive will be carried out. But now again the left party has moved the court, and we are getting this news that at around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, the court is going to hear the petition. Now it would be an interesting argument which will be made by the lawyers, because already this issue has turned completely political, Arunima, after the interference of Amanatullah Khan, after BJP Delhi has taken press conference and questioned the silence of the opposition parties on the behavior of those who were sitting next to the bulldozers and did not let bulldozer execute the orders on time. So BJP has questioned the silence of those political parties. So it is completely out and out of a political war that has started on this entire issue of anti-encroachment drive in Shaheen Bagh. Now all eyes are on Supreme Court. What order Supreme Court give, or Supreme Court will keep this matter for the next hearing. Back to you, Arunima.
Right, but how is this different from what we saw in Jahangirpuri? Even after the Supreme Court order, like you pointed out, the bulldozers continue to go about their work. A lot of temporary structures were demolished. A lot of shops were brought down. They have again gone to the Supreme Court saying that that it was unfair. There was nothing illegal about their shops in Jahangirpuri. Here in Shaheen Bagh and Jasola, however, no such thing happened. Locals themselves have dismantled some temporary structures that MCD said was encroachment. The crisis was resolved by the police, the locals and the MCD officials. Traffic has been thrown open. Yes, because of the media presence, you still see in patches crowd gathering because of the media cameras. But other than that, looks like the crisis here has been resolved. So that's the difference from Jahangirpuri, how Jahangirpuri situation was tackled and how Shaheen Bagh and the Jasola situation has been tackled is different. So it will be interesting to note what the Supreme Court's approach would be. The left parties, like Siddhant was pointing out, have moved the Supreme Court once again. 2 o'clock is when the hearing is supposed to begin. Siddhant, any word from the locals here? Are they seeking any kind of judicial relief as well, or are they happy with the negotiations they have done with MCD officials?
Well, it was only because of the efforts of Amanatullah Khan and the local people here, Arunima, that MCD was convinced, they conveyed this to MCD, that we ourselves will dismantle this structure and there's no need of bulldozer. Also, Amanatullah Khan told me this in an interview, that he has taken the suo motu cognizance of the illegal encroachment and structures in the area, and before the arrival of the bulldozers, he dismantled those structures. Now, Arunima, for the sake of our viewers, Congress leader Imran Pratapgarhi is here at the demolition site. So the Congress leaders have started coming to the spot, and this will spark political controversy further, because already Adesh Gupta has made allegations that the Congress and the opposition parties are silent on the riots that broke out in Jahangirpuri, and in fact not questioning those who were objecting the entry of bulldozers at the demolition site, those who were sitting next to the bulldozer. So now after Amanatullah Khan, Imran Pratapgarhi is here at Shaheen Bagh, interacting with people, interacting with media. Now this dismantled iron structure is being removed at this point in time, and because of this, because of this, the electric wires have also got damaged. The network of electric wire here has also got damaged. The locals have said, okay, Imran Pratapgarhi is coming here. We'll try to take some questions. Imran bhai. इमरान भाई क्या कहेंगे डिमोलिशन ड्राइव को कैसे देखते हैं? इमरान भाई डिमोलिशन ड्राइव को कैसे देखते हैं?
डिमोलिशन ड्राइव एक राजनीतिक स्टंट है भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, और उनके सियासी तमाशे के खिलाफ खड़े हैं। सिर्फ और सिर्फ सियासी तमाशा है। अतिक्रमण के नाम पे उधर कचरा था, वो नहीं हटाया उन्होंने। अतिक्रमण के नाम पे उधर सीमेंटेड पाइपें बनी है जिनसे रास्ता जाम है, वो नहीं हटाया। लेकिन यहाँ ला करके फोटो खिंचवाएंगे जहाँ अतिक्रमण है भी नहीं।
अच्छा इमरान भाई, एक आदेश गुप्ता ने, एक मिनट भाई साहब एक मिनट, इमरान भाई से बात करना है। एक मिनट शांति से, कहीं नहीं जा रहे, यहीं रुकेंगे, कहीं नहीं जा रहे। एक मिनट में इमरान भाई, आदेश गुप्ता ने सीधा विपक्षी पार्टियों पे राजनीति करने का आरोप लगाया। उन्होंने बोला अमानतुल्लाह खान गए यहाँ पे और बुलडोजर नहीं चलने दिया। आपकी कांग्रेस पार्टी पे भी कह रहे हैं कि जब दिल्ली में दंगे होते हैं तो वो लोग शांत रहते हैं और ऐसे में आ जाते हैं, बुलडोजर नहीं चलने, क्योंकि बुलडोजर चलना एक सरकारी आदेश था।
अगर आदेश गुप्ता जी में नैतिकता है तो सबसे पहले अपने घर के बाहर जो उन्होंने अतिक्रमण कर रखा है उसे हटा दें। उसके बाद गरीब के घर के बाहर जो झोपड़ी या खोमचा लगा हुआ है उसको हटाने की बात करें। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं में नैतिकता नहीं है। उनका मकसद एक सांप्रदायिक संदेशा देना, ताकि आप गैस सिलेंडर जो 50 रुपए बढ़ा है उस पर बात न करिए, डॉलर प्रधानमंत्री की उम्र से मीलों आगे निकल चुका है उस पर बात न करिए, तो वो शाहीन बाग के सामने फोटो खिंचा करके अपने वोटरों को संदेश।
एक चीज और बताइए कि इंक्रोचमेंट ड्राइव जो होती है वो हर शहर में चलाई जाती है, एमसीडी भी कह रही है कि रूटीन इंक्रोचमेंट ड्राइव है, इस पे क्यों राजनीति करना?
रूटीन इंक्रोचमेंट 1000 मीडिया कर्मियों को लेकर चलाई जाती है। इस तमाशे को कौन नहीं समझता है, ये उनको समझाइए जो तमाशा नहीं समझते। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक मकसद है मुद्दों से ध्यान हटाना।
अच्छा, इस बार उन्होंने सरप्राइज भी दिया, इस बार उन्होंने पहले से नहीं बताया कि कहीं कोर्ट न मूव करे।
जनता जागरूक है, उनका हर सरप्राइज स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार है, तो अच्छी बात है ना, जनता जागरूक है।
कांग्रेस खड़ी है शाहीन बाग की जनता के साथ।
कांग्रेस देश के हर गरीब के साथ खड़ी है। आप उसे शाहीन बाग से जोड़ने की कोशिश क्यों करते हैं? कांग्रेस हर गरीब जनता के साथ खड़ी है। शाहीन बाग इसी देश में है, इसी देश में है।
Okay, so there you were listening. Imran Pratapgarhi is speaking exclusively to News18, and he said that Congress party सिर्फ देश की जनता के साथ, सिर्फ शाहीन बाग की जनता के साथ नहीं बल्कि पूरे देश की जनता के साथ खड़ी है। और उन्होंने आदेश गुप्ता पे अटैक करके कहा है, पॉलिटिकल अटैक किया है, एंड ही सेड दैट आदेश गुप्ता शुड गेट his illegal structure removed, the illegal structure outside his residence. Then he should send bulldozers outside to bulldoze the residences of and the shops of the poor people in Shaheen Bagh. So direct attack coming from Congress party leader Imran Pratapgarhi, who has come here to visit the demolition site. Oh, bhai sahab, thoda sa kinare hato.
Okay.
Baad mein dekh le. So he has come here to
Siddharth, just to interject, I mean, while you are speaking to Imran Pratapgarhi, Amanatullah Khan has actually left Shaheen Bagh. Just on this service lane, you see this convoy of white vehicles. He has walked down this stretch. Those white vehicles and the crowd near it is where Amanatullah Khan is. Leaving this area, there were some slogans that were shouted, and then subsequently he left. So looks like, Anshul, if you can hear me, Amanatullah Khan is leaving this area. Some locals credited him with resolving the situation. Work done. The Aam Aadmi Party leader is leaving this area.
So yes, it is what I can also see, that Amanatullah Khan might soon be leaving from this place. He has gone and sat in his vehicle, and his home is just a few meters away from here, inside a road that goes just past, I think 100 meters from where I am standing right now. So yes, I can confirm. I can also confirm that Amanatullah Khan is almost leaving. But yes, a lot of petty politics has happened, because this was a regular demolition anti-encroachment drive that is carried out across the national capitals on a daily basis. Today it happened in Shaheen Bagh. Tomorrow it is going to happen in New Friends Colony. Day after tomorrow it's going to happen in Lodi Colony, and after that it's going to happen in New Friends Colony, Kalindi Kunj area on the 13th of May. So yes, the whole schedule has already been made about the for the next week of the anti-encroachment drives that are going to be carried out. Today also we saw very small equipments, very limited equipments of the MCD coming here for the anti-encroachment drive. Only one bulldozer and 2 trucks were present over here. Only one of the anti-encroachments were raised down. So yes, this is a very regular drive. Nothing else was found by the MCD, so they went back. So tomorrow we are going to see the same action happening in New Friends Colony. But yes, Shaheen Bagh being the epicenter of politics over the last year and a half, or maybe two years, we have seen. So politics is happening on the ground over here. We saw Amanatullah Khan, we saw Congress. Initially, the Congress workers came and sat in front of the bulldozers, not allowing the bulldozers to work. They were detained. Then few minutes after that, Amanatullah Khan came with his supporters. He talked to he talked to the local leaders, or should I say the senior MCD officials who were present on the ground. He had a word with them. He told them to not use the bulldozer. We will remove these encroachments by ourselves. Over the last few days, since this schedule was made almost a week back, the local councillor has come ahead and said that almost 60% of the illegal encroachments have been removed by them on their own. So also this being morning, encroachments actually happen on the footpath during the evening time is what locals are also saying. But yes, encroachments were removed. A very small encroachment that was present was also removed. No bulldozer action took place. No force was applied at any point in time. The Delhi police should be commended for the kind of job it has done. It has made sure that peace and law and order is maintained in this area and no one comes in front of the law. So yes, Delhi police has done a terrific job over here to make sure that everything falls in place, and the work that MCD had to do, that work is completed. Now since that work has been completed, the officials have went back to their homes. As you pointed out in the starting, that Amanatullah Khan is also leaving, the local MLA is also leaving. So yes, it seems that normalcy is going to return over here in the next few minutes, but still there is a lot of heavy traffic jam on this road which leads to Noida. So yes, that is one key issue that is still prevailing over here. I like to tell our viewers to avoid taking this road to Noida, which goes from Jasola to Noida, to avoid taking this road. There is a massive traffic jam over here, heavy traffic congestion. I'll ask my camera person to show you in the visuals. There is absolutely a massive traffic.
That is the point that I was trying to tell our viewers, that a lot of us might be worried about the traffic here, but the stretch from Noida to Jasola, the stretch from Noida to Delhi, you can see the cars moving at a good speed now. So at least in one carriageway, traffic is back to normal. On the other carriageway, there is still a bumper-to-bumper traffic jam, but at least traffic is moving. It's slowly moving, and in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, even this carriageway could see, some vehicles are now picking up speed. So traffic at least is better than what it was about half an hour ago. Even the service lanes here towards this side, if you can see, even the service lane, which till a few minutes back was jam-packed, is now normal. It's now normal. At the end of that street is where Amanatullah Khan's convoy was. That has left. Imran Pratapgarhi, who was here, he has also made his way. So all the politicians have moved out. The shopkeepers, the shops here on the other side, they have started making their way back inside as well. These were some of the shops that were facing the anti-encroachment drive of the MCD. They have also now started going back. Some discussion happening outside, but more or less, traffic, it appears, is moving towards normalcy. Life here in Shaheen Bagh is moving towards normalcy. All these allegations that was leading to communal tension, looks like for now that has been evaded as well. The azan was over just a couple of minutes back, about 15 minutes back. The azan got over and the faithful went ahead for their afternoon prayers. So for now, Siddhant, if you can hear me, it looks like things are back to normal at Shaheen Bagh. 2 o'clock is when the Supreme Court will hear the matter. That's something that the locals will be watching closely.
Well, that's correct, Arunima. Things are getting back to normal. I'm standing at the same site where the dismantling of this iron structure happened. And what I could see from here is that traffic has slowly started moving. But there is a bumper-to-bumper drive till the end of Kalindi Kunj. Also, Arunima, the people have gathered here because after Amanatullah Khan, Imran Pratapgarhi has come here. He's interacting with people. He's standing in solidarity with the people of Shaheen Bagh. So when I asked him that are you standing in solidarity with the people of Shaheen Bagh? Is Congress party stands in solidarity with the people of Shaheen Bagh? He says that Congress party stands with every citizen of the country, and Shaheen Bagh is a part of our country. So strong statement coming from senior Congress leader. Also, Arunima, there are a lot of hopes, there are a lot of expectations from Supreme Court at this point in time, because people here are telling me that the way Supreme Court intervened at the time of the bulldozer drive in Jahangirpuri, they are expecting similar kind of order or a relief from Supreme Court, because they are scared that today media was there, today people came on the roads, and this is the reason that JCB took a U-turn after demolishing this structure. In fact, not even demolishing this structure, but they expect that these JCBs can come here every day, or these drives can become routine here in Shaheen Bagh, and this is why the people of this area are scared. क्या एक मन में एक डर तो रहेगा ही ना कि कभी भी आ जाएंगे JCB लेके, ऐसा एक डर मन में है आप?
नहीं, डर किस बात का? नहीं, कोई डर नहीं है। अच्छा, जब हम हक पे हैं, कोई गलत नहीं कर रहे तो डर किस बात का? ठीक है, जब यहाँ पे कोई कंस्ट्रक्शन कर ही नहीं रहे हम तो डर किस बात का? कोई डर नहीं है। कोई डर नहीं, कोई गलत करेगा तब डर।
अच्छा, ये लेफ्ट पार्टी सुप्रीम कोर्ट मूव हो गई है शाहीन बाग के लोगों के लिए कि जो ये आज हुआ ये गलत हुआ, कैसे देखते हैं आप?
बिल्कुल गलत हुआ है। कोई यहाँ पे
सुप्रीम कोर्ट से उम्मीदें हैं आप लोगों को?
बिल्कुल उम्मीद है हमारे यहाँ से भी यहाँ पे हमारा जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट है, लॉ है, बस उससे उम्मीद है। सरकार से तो उम्मीदें खत्म हो चुकी हैं।
Okay. So still, Aurangzeb, people are saying that they have hopes from the Supreme Court. They also say some of them are scared that these bulldozers can become a routine exercise here in Shaheen Bagh. So they want protection from that, and this is what exactly they expect from Supreme Court. Such kind of order which can give protection to them. Back to you.
Right, and while we are waiting for the Supreme Court hearing to happen, like I've been reporting, traffic is limping back to normalcy. One carriageway is almost empty, the other one, traffic is moving. Politics is continuing unabated. You heard Imran Pratap Giri attack Adesh Gupta earlier, BJP Delhi unit president. He also alleged that these people who are protesting are actually, Rohingyas and Bangladeshis. That is what he's alleged. Kapil Mishra has also tweeted, alleging that lawbreakers will be dealt with. And what he has said is that wherever there is illegal work that is going on, whether it is illegal construction or there are people who are illegally living there, यहाँ बुलडोजर पुलिस कानून की एंट्री बैन है. That is what he is alleging. And he says ये छोटे छोटे मिनी पाकिस्तान है जैसे है जहाँ भारत का संविधान लागू करना भी असंभव बनता जा रहा है. Anshul, looks like the Bharatiya Janata Party is not very happy that the bulldozer took a U-turn.
So yes, that is the kind of reaction that is coming from them, but that is all very petty politics that is coming across, because I spoke to the local chairman of the MCD and he said that it is a routine drive that we carry out and it has nothing to do with any sort of politics. BJP has been trying to gain brownie points out of the demolition drive that was carried out in Shaheen Bagh. On the same time, leaders like Amanatullah Khan and Congress workers and leaders have also come on ground just to gain some brownie points and just to carry on with the politics. But this anti-encroachment drive has nothing to do with any sort of politics. We saw the mayor, South MCD mayor, a few days ago coming here, traveling some interior parts of Jasola and pointing out that these are illegal immigrants who are staying over there and they should be removed at the earliest. He even went to the extent to saying that हम यहाँ bulldozer अगले 2 घंटे में चला देंगे. So that is the kind of things that politicians have been saying, but no such actions, no coercive action has been taken. As of now, all these alleged illegal colonies are still in the same place where they were even after the mayor came here and earmarked those locations. But yes, this anti-encroachment drive that was carried out today was planned at least a week before, and a schedule has been made for at least 2 weeks of the anti-encroachment drive that is going to take place in different parts of South Delhi, especially this zone. So yes, today it happened in Shaheen Bagh. Over the next few days,
politicians are continuing to do politics over this matter. Let's listen into what Aam Aadmi Party's Amanatullah Khan has to say.
अमन भाई, ये बताइए कि अभी क्या कंसेंसस बना है? क्या खुद ही लोग हटाएंगे? क्या खुद ही लोग हटाएंगे?
हाँ, खुद हटा दिया लोगों ने.
खुद हटा दिया. कौन कौन सी जगह है जहाँ इंक्रोचमेंट थी?
देखिए, कालिंदी कुंज रोड पर जो था हटा दिया. ये इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है, ये तो शटरिंग है. एक आदमी सफेदी कर रहा है, ये भी हम हटवा रहे हैं. और बता दे मुझे, मैं खुद हटवा दूंगा.
ये उसके बाद भी बुलडोजर आ गया. आप बात
ये तो राजनीति कर रहे हैं. मेरे लोग खुद ऊपर जाएंगे, ये तो राजनीति कर रहे हैं.
आपके लोग ही ऊपर चढ़ के हटा रहे हो?
हाँ, हमारे हटा रहे थे, हटा दिया पुलिस ने. ये खुद राजनीति करने, फोटो खिंचवाना.
लेकिन इससे पहले जब इंस्पेक्शन के लिए आया था तब आपने बात नहीं की थी?
जब इंस्पेक्शन के लिए आए, मैंने सब उसके बाद क्लियर करा दिया. मैं खुद आया, लोगों से मिला, मैंने खुद क्लियर करा दिया. सारी यहाँ पर सारा जितना मार्केट एसोसिएशन है, मैं खुद गया. मैंने खुद कहा उनसे कि भाई आप यहाँ मैं क्लियर करा चुका हूँ, यहाँ कोई इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है. उसने माना हाँ जी ठीक है.
Right, so Dr. Amanatullah Khan, you were saying that whatever MCD has raised an issue on, the locals themselves are going to cooperate and remove that. But Sudan, you've been to Jahangirpuri as well, now you've been to Shaheen Bagh as well. If you compare the approach of the officials, be it the police officials or the municipality officials, do you think they learned their lesson after Supreme Court didn't take time to their approach in Northwest Delhi?
Well, yes, Aurangzeb, people are expecting some kind of protection from Supreme Court because they saw the way Supreme Court intervened at the time of bulldozers in Jahangirpuri. In half an hour, this stay was given and the bulldozers will stop. So people are, eyeing on the Supreme Court hearing, and they are in fact saying that they need some kind of protection from Supreme Court because it should not become a routine drive here at Shaheen Bagh, because if it will become a routine drive, then they will be troubled, the local shopkeepers will be troubled. Also, as far as today's demolition is concerned, they say that 2 hours were wasted by MCD, completely wasted by MCD, and they zeroed down on this particular building where I'm reporting from, and that too they were asking to remove this temporary iron rod structure which was only constructed to place publicity again on this shop. So they say that this all is being done with a political motive, with a motive to give out a message to minority community, and this is what the people are alleging. But the BJP Delhi is saying that whatever has happened, these drives
और उनको दिल्ली सरकार ने 10-10 हज़ार रुपए देने के साथ उनको जमीन दी, पीडब्ल्यूडी की जमीन पर बसाया, उनके राशन कार्ड बनाए, उनको खाना दिया, उनको बिजली दी, उनको पानी दिया, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, तो क्यों नहीं लेटेंगे वो? और मैं आज कहना चाहता हूं कि जो गलत काम का विरोध कर रहे हैं, जो सही काम का विरोध कर रहे हैं, जिन्होंने गलत काम किया उसका समर्थन कर रहे हैं, उसको अगर सांप्रदायिक चश्मे से देख रहे हैं तो बिल्कुल गलत है। जो लोग अतिक्रमण करते हैं तो उनको धर्मनिरपेक्ष दिखता है और जब उन पर कार्रवाई होती है तो उसको सांप्रदायिक चश्मे से देखते हैं। ये वही लोग हैं जो अपीजमेंट की पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं, वोट बैंक की पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं, एक वर्ग विशेष को खुश करने का काम करते हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी सबके साथ समान व्यवहार हो। अगर अतिक्रमण की कार्रवाई जहांगीरपुरी में होती है तो वहां पर गुप्ता जी और झा साहब पर भी बुलडोजर चलता है।
अच्छा सर, हमने देखा कि अब तो बुलडोजर शायद वापस चला गया है। बहुत सारे लोग थे जो कह रहे थे हमारे पास सारे लीगल पेपर्स हैं इसके, उसके बावजूद भी हमको कोई नोटिस नहीं दिया गया, कोई हमको इंटीमेट नहीं किया गया पहले कि ऐसी कुछ कार्रवाई होने वाली है, उसके बावजूद भी।
देखिए, निगम जो कार्रवाई करता है उसका जवाब तो निगम देगा, लेकिन जहां तक जो भी कार्रवाई की जाती है कोई अचानक से नहीं की जाती है, बाकायदा उसको संज्ञान में लिया जाता है। जिसको बताना होता है, नोटिस देना होता है तो नोटिस दिया जाता है। अब जब इस तरह की कार्रवाई होती है तो बहुत सारे लोग सामने आते हैं, और जिस तरह से आम आदमी पार्टी कांग्रेस के लोग बुलडोजर के सामने लेट गए, दिल्ली और देश की जनता देख रही है, और आप और कांग्रेस चिंता नहीं करे, देश की जनता उन्हें निपटाने वाली।
अभी सर आपने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की, हमने देखा आपने उसमें काफ़ी सारे बाइट्स भी चलाए, तो वो एक तो उसका सोर्स क्या है, कौन वो है जो कर रहे हैं, और वो कहाँ का एग्जैक्ट है वो वीडियो?
वो शाहीन बाग इलाके का, बहुत लोग जानते हैं। आज दिल्ली में 5 लाख से ज़्यादा बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या है, और 5 साल पहले दिल्ली के अंदर हाई कोर्ट में केस पिटीशन डाली गई जिस पर दिल्ली सरकार ने आज तक जवाब नहीं दिया। मैं दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री से आपसे कहना चाहता हूं, अपना जो भी आपका लीगल डिपार्टमेंट देख रहा है उसको कहिए कि आप इस पर जवाब फाइल करिए। क्यों जवाब फाइल नहीं कर रही दिल्ली सरकार? क्योंकि आप उनको शेल्टर देते हैं, फिर वो यहाँ पर दिल्ली में दंगे कराते हैं। और मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, इस बुलडोज़र की कार्रवाई या अतिक्रमण के खिलाफ कार्रवाई को किसी धार्मिक चश्मे से नहीं देखें, क्योंकि अगर कोई आतंकी, अगर कोई बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या यहाँ पर बम फोड़ेगा तो उस बम जब बम फटेगा तो वो कोई जाति, मजहब, धर्म नहीं देखता, सबके ऊपर।
क्योंकि अब आपने वीडियो बनाया है, उसमें दिख रहा है बांग्लादेश से रोहिंग्यास आए हैं, तो आपकी तरफ से खासतौर पे दिल्ली बीजेपी की तरफ से अब किस तरह का आंदोलन किया जाए? क्योंकि वो तो साफ तौर पे लोग उसमें कह रहे हैं, आपकी तरफ से किस तरह की कार्रवाई होगी?
देखिए, हमने दिल्ली की जनता को एक पत्र लिखा है, और उस पत्र में साफ लिखा है कि जहाँ जहाँ दिल्ली की जनता और बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता जहाँ जहाँ बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्याओं को पाते हैं और वहाँ की इलीगल कार्रवाई, वो लोग इलीगल एक्टिविटी में इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं, आप उसकी सूचना हमें दीजिए। हम पर्याप्त मात्रा में उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई कराएंगे। सूचना जहां देनी होगी वहां देंगे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तो दिस वाज द चीफ ऑफ दिल्ली बीजेपी आदेश कुमार गुप्ता टॉकिंग टू CNN न्यूज़ 18 विद कैमरा पर्सन राजेश भारद्वाज, अरुण धांटा।
All right, we have some breaking news coming in right now from Mumbai. We're learning that the Mumbai police has moved the Sessions Court for the cancellation of the bail of the independent MP Navneet Rana and the MLA Ravi Rana. Remember, this is largely expected. The application points out that the couple had violated the condition of speaking to the media about the case. It states that the order clarified that the violation of conditions would amount to a cancellation of bail. Remember, this is something that the public prosecutor had also talked about late yesterday. So again, these developments aren't entirely a surprise. My colleague Mihir with us right now to bring us more details. Mihir, tell us what you know.
Absolutely. So the prosecution has now gone ahead and filed that bail cancellation plea, which clearly cites the reasons behind why they are doing it. Remember yesterday, the public prosecutor who was representing the government on this particular case stated that he has gone through the series of bites and statements given by the Ranas ever since they were released from jail, and he is convinced and has no other way but to file this bail cancellation plea in front of the court. So in this particular document that they have now submitted, it clearly states all the bites that the Rana couple have spoken separately and together. In fact, it goes on to cite some examples where Navneet Rana is again, in a sense, targeting the CM, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. She's giving statements which, in a sense, are, and that's what is written in the bill plea as well, that she is trying to show the CM in bad light, trying to incite him. Remember, the CM is somebody who's like the leader of the state, and any sort of wrong language used against him, any sort of threat or challenge shown at him could result to a law and order issue. That was the grounds on which the prosecution fought this entire case. However, they were granted bail by the Sessions Court, but now again they have this chance. That was one of the conditions laid down by the court, that they should refrain from talking to the media about this case or anything related to the case. Now, what has happened is, now with these statements coming out, now with the bites that the Rana couple have given to the media, the prosecution has gone ahead and filed this cancellation plea, saying that violates one of the conditions.
All right, Mihir, I have a few questions for you here. Firstly, for our audiences, walk us through how Navneet Rana and her husband have continuously justified, because I know they've come in the press and multiple times they've said that they're not breaking their bail conditions by making statements. Tell us more here.
Absolutely. Navneet Rana and Ravi Rana were clearly given certain stringent conditions by the court when they were granted bail. One of the conditions was not to interact with the media or the print in any manner, especially pertaining to this particular case. Now, what the Rana's defense is, ever since they stepped out and started interacting with the media, is that they are not touching the topic of the case. They are not talking about the case and why it's unfair. But today we did see Navneet Rana give a certain bite where she is saying that she will go and complain to the higher authorities in Delhi, and she will talk about the entire incident, how unjust and unfair sections have been applied to her in this case. But they are adamant of the fact that they are not violating any conditions laid down by the honorable court. They are abiding by it, respecting it as law-abiding citizens, and that's what they continued. But they did continue to target the government, target the CM. In fact, Navneet Rana also posed a challenge in front of the CM of Maharashtra, saying that I dare him to, contest the election, and I will, stand in front of him and fight that election and see if he will win or not, and those kind of statements, which in a sense will instigate party workers in a sense is challenging the government, and also she gave statements like it's not a matter of 14 days. If reciting Hanuman Chalisa is a crime, then I will go on and recite. I wouldn't mind going to jail for 14 years.
Mihir, stay with us for just a second. I want to come back to you in a second, but I want to play out also what the Ranas had to say. Our audiences will remember the Ranas just a little while ago were on their way to meet officials from the Home Ministry. Take a look at this interview.
Ma'am, you're going to Delhi. What will be the plan of action?
See, I'm going to go Delhi.
Is there a
first.
proper case?
See, it is a proper case.
Will you be filing a case?
See, the proper case, if you ask me, so it was never a case proper against me to work so, to put me in jail. So never, so I think whatever I'm going to go and do in Delhi, I'm going to meet HM Sahib. I'm going to meet, if I request Prime Minister Sahib, if he gives me time, I'm going to give him detail, whatever happened with me. And with that, I'm going to meet the speaker also, Om Birla Sahib, and tell all the things what happened from lockup till the jail. So I'm going to go there, and one person particular who spoke and threatened me in front of media, I'm going to go to the police station and FIR against him.
हमारे ऊपर जो कार्रवाई हुई उसकी पूरी जांच दिल्ली से हम कराएंगे और हमको न्याय मिले तक हम दिल्ली में वहाँ पाठपुरावा करेंगे। मैंने केस के बारे में जो घटना हुई है उस घटना का कोई उल्लेख हमने किया नहीं। हमारे खिलाफ जो यंत्रणा काम कर रही है, हमें कहीं ना कहीं रोकने की काम कर रही है, हमारा आवाज दबाने की कोशिश कर रही है। सरकार के खिलाफ हमने बात किया है, उसके लिए अगर आवाज हमारी दबाते हैं तो हमारी आवाज दबाएंगे नहीं। संविधान ने हमें अधिकार दिया है, उसके खिलाफ हम उसके माध्यम से बोलते रहेंगे और महाराष्ट्र के न्याय के लिए बढ़ते रहेंगे।
So those are the responses now coming in as far as the Rana's bail is concerned. There is a lot of heated drama that has begun on it after there has been an allegation that they violated the conditions that were placed upon their bail by the court, even as they move to Delhi, speak to the media freely. Majid Memon of the NCP is also joining us. Mr. Memon, your response on what the Ranas are saying. You know, of course, there's a question of whether they violated their bail conditions, but what they've also said is, not just denied that charge, but they've also said that, you know, they've, of course, been slapped with sections that were not required as far as this case is concerned.
So, see, now it's a settled practice in criminal law that if an accused is enlarged on bail with certain conditions attached to bail, then he has to abide by those conditions. That accused cannot simply flout those conditions. And once he flouts those conditions, the prosecution is entitled to go back to the court and inform the court about it. But cancelling bail is not a very easy thing. Bail orders are not ordinarily cancelled unless the court is fully satisfied with regard to the situation which warrants cancellation of bail. The court is certainly, on the approach of the state, on the approach of the police, the court is certainly going to issue notice to both these Rana.
Sir, can I very quickly take a response from Atul Bhatkalkar of the BJP also joining us? Atul ji, आपने सुना होगा माजिद मेमन ने क्या बोला? रानास जो बोल रहे हैं वो भी आपको पता होगा, लेकिन सवाल तो ये बनता है कि क्या वो बेल कंडीशंस वायलेट नहीं कर रहे हैं?
See, basically this is nothing but clear-cut vendetta politics by MEA government. It is proved when they slapped sedition law against Rana couple, which was not required. Even Session Court also passed strictures on the government, first of all. Then, when yesterday Rana couple spoke something with media, immediately government leader came out and said publicly that we are moving for cancellation of bail. He is the authority. Authority is the IO. But he is not speaking. On the behalf of the government leader is saying that we are moving to the court. So this is nothing but vendetta politics. This government, right from the day one, always tried to muzzle the voice of people, even people's representative, whoever raises their voice against this government, their corruption, they're hand in glove with all anti-national elements.
Sir, वो
But
सब बात ठीक है. Atul ji, all of that is fine. The point is that this matter has already reached court. The Rana couple have got bail, but on certain conditions. Wouldn't it be fair to expect that they adhere to those conditions? Everything else, the politics is separate.
now government is already declared that they are moving to the court, or I think today they also moved to the court.
Yeah.
Then court will decide whether Rana couple has violated the bail conditions or not.
And what? How is the BJP planning to take this forward? Even as the Rana couple comes to Delhi, they meet the Home Minister, etc. How is the BJP in Maharashtra planning to take this forward?
No, we have no plan to take this, or we are not planning to take this forward. This is the case against Rana couple. And on that very date also, we have stated that BJP is not approving plan of going before Matoshri and reciting Hanuman Chalisa. At the same time, Uddhav Thackeray, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, also committed politically very mistakes. He should not have reacted in such a fashion. If he had been invited Rana couple to recite Hanuman Chalisa in his own home, the matter would have been resolved within a minute.
Okay. That's a larger debate. We'll leave it for another day. Atul Bhatkalkar of the BJP, I do thank you for joining us. Shifting our attention to the big story that we continue to track, and that's, of course, the demolition drama in the national capital. After Jahangirpuri, there was drama in Shaheen Bagh today over MCD demolition drive till just a short while ago. The demolition has been called off for now after locals took to street and political netas also joined in. Aam Aadmi Party's Amanatullah Khan claims that all the illegal encroachment has already been removed and the MCD drive is completely unnecessary. On the other hand, BJP has slammed both Congress and Aam Aadmi Party for opposing this drive, and they were seen on ground as well. They call it an attempt to shield Rohingyas and illegal elements, especially illegal immigrants living in this area. We're also getting some updates coming in. Supreme Court is set to hear this matter at 2 p.m. Remember, this petition has been filed by CPIM challenging the demolition drive by the SDMC in Shaheen Bagh. This is a redux of what had happened when the bulldozers first came out in Jahangirpuri. At that time too, CPM leaders were not just seen on ground but even in court opposing that drive. My colleague Siddhant Mishra is tracking the latest from Shaheen Bagh. So Siddhant, last time there was a 2-week stay that was given by the court. What more are you learning as far as this hearing is concerned?
Look, what has happened today was something expected because this was going on from last 15 days or so. There was one inspection drive, then today was the anti-encroachment drive, and it came in a very surprising way for media and for the people of Shaheen Bagh, because this morning only we got the confirmation that Delhi Police is going to provide force, adequate force for the drive. Now, people of Shaheen Bagh are worried that this should not become a routine exercise, and they are looking for a protection from Supreme Court on the same. I've spoken to some of the residents here. I've also spoken to some shopkeepers. They say that today they have come, they have found nothing. They have absolutely found nothing. They just went near to one building which had a temporary iron structure, and that too after the intervention of Amanatullah Khan. That structure was also dismantled by his boys only, shopkeepers only. So they said that they did not find anything, but there's a possibility that such exercises can become a routine exercise. So the people here in Shaheen Bagh wants protection from that. Also, they are alleging that whatever is happening with a political intention, with the intention to give out a message to the minority community. Because
let me also bring in
Anshul,
who's also been tracking as far as this entire demolition drama is concerned. Now, Anshul, it is of course understood by most people who live in Delhi, who have lived in Delhi, that a lot of these colonies do indeed have illegal structures or encroachments as far as public pathways, roads, footpaths are concerned. What is it that the MCD is saying? Because today, as far as the demolition drive is concerned, it didn't achieve much. So what were they there for? And where are those illegal structures that they claim they were there to demolish?
So yes, there were many encroachments that were in this place in Shaheen Bagh, and remember this schedule that was put out of removing this encroachment was put out at least a week and a half ago. Since then, Amanatullah Khan and the local councillor of the area have come here and have talked to the people, have talked to the shopkeepers over here to remove those encroachments, and that is the reason why we did not see any such massive encroachments that were removed today by the MCD. But this was a routine drive, and over the next 3 to 4 days the schedule is still out, and in the next 3 to 4 days many such areas are going to see such drives being happening. This is a very regular drive been happening, but yes, we have seen petty politics happening on this, and yes, the Supreme Court has been moved. And
Anshul, can I ask you very quickly, as far as illegal encroachments are concerned, which are just temporary structures, the kind that we saw were removed in Jahangirpuri, yes, you know, those can be removed very quickly. If Amanatullah Khan is claiming that he got those encroachments, structures removed from the roads and footpaths, that is, you know, understandable, because we see in several marketplaces, for example, in the national capital, the moment the local hawkers, etc., hear that the police is coming, they remove their structures. But what about illegal structures? Is Amanatullah Khan saying that there are no illegal permanent structures, buildings in this area?
So yes, that is what he has been claiming, that there are no illegal structures. But according to the MCD, is what I got a chance, what I learned from them is yes, there are illegal structures. The shops in this area are not illegal, but the constructions around the shops are illegal. For example, the stairs that the shops have made, those few of the stairs are illegal and are not approved by the MCD. So yes, those are few illegal structures that were not removed today, because the MCD came to remove the small structures that were in place, and these temporary structures do not need any prior permission or any prior notice to be given, but to remove those structures, a prior notice needs to be given. So yes, that is an overall longer process that will happen. But yes, today only those structures were removed that were temporary and illegal. So that has been removed.
Yeah, and that's a constant process. Like I said, anybody who lives in Delhi knows that in a lot of these market areas, these temporary structures come up. They block pathways, footpaths, even portions of the road. And when they hear that the police is coming or the MCD is coming, they remove them. They come back in a few days' time. Now, that is the reality as far as these marketplaces are concerned. But what did this drive achieve today? If there are illegal permanent structures, how come no action was taken? First up, let's also listen from the politicians involved, Adesh Gupta of the BJP and more.
शाहीन बाग के जो लोग हैं वो सड़कों पे आ गए। आम आदमी पार्टी के जो विधायक हैं अमानतुल्लाह खान, वो बुलडोज़र के सामने आ गए और एक तरफा कार्रवाई की बात करने लगे। आपकी जो पोलराइज करने की पॉलिटिक्स है, काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें उन्होंने आप लोगों के ऊपर एलिगेशन लगाए।
देखिए, आज दर्द तकलीफ़ उनको हो रही है जिन लोगों ने इस दिल्ली के अंदर बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्याओं को पहले बसाया है और फिर उसके बाद उनको संरक्षण दिया, शेल्टर दिया है। जो लोग अतिक्रमण करते हैं तो उनको धर्मनिरपेक्ष दिखता है और जब उन पर कार्रवाई होती है तो उसको सांप्रदायिक चश्मे से देखते हैं। ये वही लोग हैं जो अपीजमेंट की पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं, वोट बैंक की पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं, एक वर्ग विशेष को खुश करने का काम करते हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी सबके साथ समान व्यवहार हो।
अमन भाई, ये बताइए कि अभी क्या कंसेंसस बना है? क्या खुद ही लोग हटाएंगे? क्या खुद ही लोग हटाएंगे?
हाँ, खुद हटा दिया लोगों ने।
खुद हटा दिया। कौन कौन सी जगह है जहाँ इंक्रोचमेंट थी?
देखिए, कालिंदी कुंज रोड पर जो था हटा दिया। ये इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है, ये तो शटरिंग है। एक आदमी सफेदी कर रहा है, ये भी हम हटवा रहे हैं। और बता देंगे, बता दे मुझे, मैं खुद हटवा दूंगा।
ये उसके बाद भी बुलडोजर आ गया। आप बात
ये तो राजनीति कर रहे हैं, मेरे लोग खुद ऊपर जाएंगे, ये तो राजनीति कर रहे हैं।
आपके लोग ही ऊपर चढ़ के हटा रहे हो?
हाँ, हमारे हटा रहे थे, हटा दिया पुलिस ने। ये खुद राजनीति करने, फोटो खिंचवाना।
लेकिन इससे पहले जब इंस्पेक्शन के लिए आया था तब आपने बात नहीं की थी?
जब इंस्पेक्शन के लिए आए, मैंने सब उसके बाद क्लियर करा दिया। मैं खुद आया, लोगों से मिला, मैंने खुद क्लियर करा दिया। सारी यहाँ पर सारा जितना मार्केट एसोसिएशन है, मैं खुद गया, मैंने खुद कहा उनसे कि भाई आप यहाँ मैं क्लियर करा चुका हूँ, यहाँ कोई इंक्रोचमेंट नहीं है। उसने माना हाँ जी ठीक है।
Nikhil is also joining us live from Shaheen Bagh. Nikhil, of course, the MCD continues to maintain that there is no agenda as far as these drives are concerned. They will continue. Are there other parts of the national capital that could see a similar drive today or in coming days?
Well, see,
MCD has been continuously saying that there are other parts as well where the anti-encroachment drive is set to take place, and in fact this drive as well as it was pre-planned as per the official notification given by the MCD on 5th of May. The anti-encroachment drive was planned for the Shaheen Bagh area, and it has been going on for a long time now, and it has been taking place at a regular interval. So this is not something very new, but it has become a huge hype because of the action that we have seen in the Jahangirpuri area and the followed action and reaction after the same. And we know how the petition was filed to the Supreme Court, and therefore there was a stay which was put by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. But now again, this is because of the sensitive area in the national capital Delhi, one of the minority dominated area. This is why it has garnered a lot of attention, and we have seen how people flooded the main place, main road of this area, of this particular stretch where the anti-encroachment drive was supposed to take place. So in the days to come as well, we are going to see that many more such drives are going to take place. It is not only the minority dominated area, there are other places as well which have been chosen by the MCD officials where the illegal encroachment is there.
Okay.
So this is not something new which is being claimed by the MCD, but what is important, Shivani, here, it is that on the other side, Bharatiya Janata Party, who runs the MCD in the national capital Delhi, they are in the power in the MCD for about 50 years now. A while back, while addressing a press conference, Adesh Gupta, who is Delhi BJP president, he has clearly said that it is the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress who come in the way when the action is taken against the Rohingyas and the illegal Bangladeshis who are residing
Yes, we
here.
heard from
So
Adesh Gupta a short while ago. Now, the aspect of Rohingyas or illegal immigrants aside, the question is that if demolition drives do go ahead in some areas, while in other areas people come onto the streets and stop them, is that not unfair then? And who's going to sort out that situation? We will keep a very close eye on this. Remember, the Supreme Court is set to hear a petition against drives in Shaheen Bagh in just a bit. So we will, of course, keep a very close track of that. Let's listen into some more reactions coming in.
डिमोलिशन ड्राइव एक राजनीतिक स्टंट है भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, और उनके सियासी तमाशे के खिलाफ खड़े हैं। सिर्फ और सिर्फ सियासी तमाशा है। अतिक्रमण के नाम पे उधर कचरा था, वो नहीं हटाया उन्होंने। अतिक्रमण के नाम पे उधर सीमेंटेड पाइपें पड़ी हैं जिनसे रास्ता जाम है, वो नहीं हटाया। लेकिन यहाँ ला करके फोटो खिंचवाएंगे जहाँ अतिक्रमण है भी नहीं। अगर आदेश गुप्ता जी में नैतिकता है तो सबसे पहले अपने घर के बाहर जो उन्होंने अतिक्रमण कर रखा है उसे हटा दें। उसके बाद गरीब के घर के बाहर जो झोपड़ी या खोमचा लगा हुआ है उसको हटाने की बात करें। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं में नैतिकता नहीं है। इस तमाशे को कौन नहीं समझता है, ये उनको समझाइए जो तमाशा नहीं समझते। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक मकसद है मुद्दों से ध्यान हटाना। कांग्रेस देश के हर गरीब के साथ खड़ी है। आप उसे शाहीन बाग से जोड़ने की कोशिश क्यों करते हैं? कांग्रेस हर गरीब जनता के साथ खड़ी है।
The SDMC, the South Delhi Municipal Corporation, from 30th April to 13th May is running an anti-encroachment drive in various parts of Delhi. This exercise is being done to remove all illegal encroachments that have taken place. But for Congress party, some encroachments are secular and some encroachments are now communal. It is secular encroachment in Shaheen Bagh, and therefore no action should be taken upon them because there is a vote bank, a veto card, and the Muslim victimhood card that the Congress party will play.
भाजपा के आदेश, गुप्ता के आदेश पर जिस तरह से नफरती बुलडोजर शाहीन बाग और गरीबों को उजाड़ने की कोशिश कर रही है, हम गरीबों को नहीं उजाड़ने देंगे।
बैठे रहेंगे हम तो, लोगों की दुकानों मकानों के आगे बुलडोजर नहीं चलने देंगे।
शाहीन बाग को क्यों मुद्दा बनाया जा रहा है? जहांगीरपुरी जैसे सिर्फ मुसलमान एरिया को क्यों मुद्दा बनाया जा रहा है? इंक्रोचमेंट के नाम से किस लिए बनाया जा रहा है? हम लोग यहाँ इसीलिए हैं क्योंकि हम यहाँ बुलडोजर नहीं चलने देंगे। बस ये न्यूज़पेपर से पता चला था, लेकिन आप अगर अंदर जाएंगे, अभी बाकी लोगों को इतना नहीं मालूम है कि यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ होने वाला है, और जो यहाँ होने वाला है वो अभी हुआ भी नहीं है। यही तो बात है कि एबनॉर्मल को किस तरह से नॉर्मल बनाया जाए कि वो हमें लगे कि ये नॉर्मल है। जो सांप्रदायिक दंगे आज 7-8 सालों से हो रहे हैं वो कभी नहीं होते थे, और 7-8 साल में वो इतने नॉर्मल हो गए हैं कि हम उनको सुनने से इतने आम हो गए हैं कि लेकिन हम उसे आम नहीं होने देंगे।
Shifting our attention to some more updates coming in, and this is with regard to the Rana couple. The court has issued a notice to Ravneet and Ravi Rana, the husband-wife duo, in the application that has been moved against their bail. My colleague Mihir is also joining us. Mihir, tell us more. All right, Mihir will be with us in just a bit. So there is an application that has been filed by the government against the bail that was granted to Navneet and Ravi Rana. The grounds are that they have violated the terms for their bail, which included that they should not speak to the media, but they have. And therefore, there is fresh trouble brewing for the Rana duo. Mihir is now joining us. Mihir, tell us more of what you're learning.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about the fact that there is fresh trouble brewing for the Ranas. In fact, now the court has asked them to file a reply on why their bail application should not be cancelled, why non-bailable warrant should not be issued against them. This was informed to us yesterday when a public prosecutor, Gharat, did mention in one of his videos that he has gone through the series of bites and statements that the Ranas have given ever since they released from jail, ever since they stepped out of Lilavati Hospital. And in that video, he's clearly stating that going through all the statements and studying them carefully, he's come to the conclusion that this is a clear violation of the condition laid down by the court while granting them the bail. The condition was that they were not supposed to interact with the media, print or the visual medium. They were not supposed to give any bites, talk about this entire case. When we spoke to them several times, what the Ranas maintained is that they are not violating any condition of the Honorable Court. They are not talking or touching upon the case at all, the case that they were arrested in. They are just giving out their opinion as far as the kind of injustice they are seeing in this government, in this state. That's what they said. But the case overall hinges on the fact that they are making these direct threats and attacks on CM Uddhav Thackeray. That was one of the primary reasons why they were arrested, because they defied the order of the police initially. Remember, 149 order was slapped against them. They were strictly told not to give any sort of inflammatory statements, but they continued to do so. That led to the arrest. Now, after the bail, if the court is convinced after their replies, in fact, the public prosecutor really strongly argued that why even give them a chance by seeking their replies. Whatever evidence he put forth in way of the statements given by them on several channels, the prosecution is convinced that this doesn't really demand a further clarification from them, but the court did grant them that extra time and a chance to present themselves and clarify themselves, or gives out their statement in a sense. Why did they go out and violate the conditions laid down by the court?
Mihir, we'll leave it at that. We'll keep coming back to you for more. Some more updates now coming in. There has been a clash that has been reported in Sri Lanka that has been reeling, not just from an emergency, but of course its worst economic crisis. Pro-government protesters have attacked a peaceful protester in Galle. This is after protests have been breaking out. Remember, several of those who've been critical of the government's handling and the fact that the Rajapaksa-led government and administration has been guilty of perpetuating this situation. You can see those visuals on your screen, a very violent attack on a single protester by multiple men. Curfew in Sri Lanka is on after these rivals have clashed. There are as many as 20 who have been injured. Let me also go across to my colleague Maha Siddiqui, who is joining us. Maha, what more are you learning on this?
So these protests were taking place as we have seen the protests that have been ongoing against the government in Sri Lanka. These protests were taking place at Galle Face Green. And we understand that pro-government activists then launched an attack on these protesters. and several people, as you've already mentioned, have been injured in those attacks. After which we have seen the leader of opposition, Sajid Premadasa, also tweeting saying that if these kind of attacks continue, the government should not be under the impression that, or the Rajapakshas rather, should not be under the impression that the voices that are being raised against them at this juncture will stop. Because of the crisis that we are seeing in Sri Lanka, they will continue to protest against it, and that there should be no attacks against protesters and the media. What we have seen is highly unfortunate now. A state of emergency has been declared right now in Colombo.
Okay. Maha, thanks a lot for joining us with that update. Situation continues to get worse as far as Sri Lanka is concerned. We'll have to wait and see what the government's response now to this is. Time for a very short break. News and updates continue in just a bit.
Millions of people in India are investing in cryptocurrencies, and one of the unicorns enabling that is CoinSwitch Kuber. I have its founder and CEO Ashish Singhal right here with me. Ashish, when did the urge to start up actually begin?
I always wanted to start something. I didn't know it was called entrepreneurship. I don't know if I can spell it but I always had that urge to create something even in my childhood. But when I actually saw Google, that's where I realized the power of the internet. How such a simple thing, just input bar, can give you access to the entire internet. And I know it's a cliche now, creating dent in the universe, but I've always lived by that, and maybe someday I will end up creating a dent in the universe.
राज ठाकरे से ज्यादा सुना के नहीं, कौन सा लाउड स्पीकर? असाउद्दीन ओवैसी जी, सबसे ज्यादा शोर हमारे लाउड स्पीकर करता है। अरे हमने सुना है तुम्हारे लाउड स्पीकर कोई भी भाड़े पे ले सकता है, और हमने सुना है कि तुम्हारे लाउड स्पीकर का वॉल्यूम कंट्रोल किसी और के हाथ में है। अरे वो छोड़ दो, हमारे पास और एक बड़ा लाउड स्पीकर है, उससे बड़ा लाउड स्पीकर आपके पास भी नहीं है। कौन सा लाउड स्पीकर? संजय राउत। ये बात तो है, लेकिन एक प्रॉब्लम है, संजय राउत अपने खुद की ही गाने लगाता है, उसका कुछ भरोसा नहीं। अरे तो तुम्हारे लाउड स्पीकर बंद करो ना। अरे तुम बंद करो, तुम कौन होते हो हमारा बंद करने वाले? हम अपना लाउड स्पीकर यही बजाएंगे, हम भी अपना लाउड स्पीकर यही बजाएंगे। देखता हूँ कौन रोकेगा। हनुमान चालीसा बजाने से कौन रोकता है देखना चाहता हूँ मैं। हनुमान चालीसा? तुम हनुमान चालीसा की बात कर रहे हो, तो तुम किसका ऑब्जेक्शन ले रहे थे? हमें लगा कि तुम हमारे लाउड स्पीकर पे अजान का ऑब्जेक्शन ले रहे हो। नहीं तो हमें आपके अजान से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, और हमें तुम्हारे हनुमान चालीसा से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। तो लाउड स्पीकर का क्या प्रॉब्लम है? हमें लाउड स्पीकर पे इसका प्रॉब्लम है। अरे बजाओ तो सही, अरे बजाओ रे।
Now, belated birthday wishes. You just turned 60, in fact. Yes. How did you celebrate?
I celebrate every day actually. So I don't see anything in particular about the birthday. Yeah.
So this milestone, would you consider it a special one, 60, or is it your filmy milestones that matter to you more?
I mean, first of all, I don't really keep track of my age, one, and second also I don't. Even a film, once I finish doing the final mix, it just goes out of my mind. Yeah.
So right now your latest film, Dangerous, is finally ready to hit theatres. It was quite a struggle for you to bring it out to the theatres. Tell me about how did you finally manage for exhibitors to show it?
I mean, see, obviously, I mean, understandably they were kind of concerned in terms of how people will react to this kind, though the Supreme Court had repealed the section. I think it will take a long time because society doesn't talk about certain things very out in the open. So they also have families, the exhibitors, and the corporate people will have some issues like, you know, in the because they are the public perception, they're very sensitive to that. So I think we managed to make some inroads into it. Yeah.
You know, you have a keen grip on the pulse of what works. You have very astute insights also. As you've said, you know, the commercial films are doing well, these mass entertainers.
Yeah.
What is keeping you from entering that arena?
I mean, you can't say that. You know, so commercial films are doing well at the same time. Something as non-commercial as Kashmir Files also has done extraordinary business. If you look at KGF 2 and Kashmir Files, I think they're at complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So it only proves that any kind of film will work. And then, of course, you can't know till the release. No matter who it is, he will intend to make the film which he thinks will work. But most of them don't. So I think if Vivek Agnihotri knows how to make such a big hit, why didn't he do it before? For example, now the South dub films, suddenly they woke up to that. What if they woke up 10 years back? I don't know what would have happened.
You know, Malayalam films became very popular on OTT, and we know they're very close to real life, and they choose very thought-provoking subjects as well. But it's these Telugu, Kannada, you know, mass entertainers that have done well at the box office. So do you think as the audience wants something that is not politically correct but just entertaining?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly believe the masses, the bulk of the audience, they don't want to tax their mind or thinking of rationality. As long as they're sitting in the theatre, they want to feel an emotional high. I think that is what those films are supplying.
So you are one of the few filmmakers who've actually done pan-Indian films before they were a term, you know, especially a film like Shiva. Even the Telugu one, that original, was a cult film, your debut film, in fact. Rangila also had a nationwide appeal. You know, films like these. So what do you feel makes a true pan-India film?
I mean, I don't know if what exactly the definition. See, for example, you see an American film, a Hollywood film coming in, working everywhere. They don't call it a pan-world film. You know, I think it is the content, the way it is shot, appeals to a lot of audience. One, and second, they take the trouble to distribute it. It is possible that a Korean film also might work. It is possible in some other countries film might work, but the distributor might not even try it. Like for example, like I just now said, if Telugu films were released, dub films and Kannada films, right from the beginning, who knows whether they would have worked or not? I mean, it sounds ridiculous that no one tried.
That is true.
Yeah.
So do you think now that you've suggested that Bollywood should dub their films,
Welcome back. Gyanvapi Mosque Survey Row has now reached the court, and the hearing in this matter has started in the Varanasi court. Remember, a plea has been filed from the mosque panel seeking the court to remove the advocate commissioner in this case. My colleague Pranshu Mishra is also joining us on this. Pranshu, several massive ramifications as far as this entire row is concerned, of course, but also from what is being contested today.
Yes, that's right. See, this is in fact the extension of that petition which was filed by Anjuman Intizamiya Committee, which actually manages the affairs of the Gyanvapi Mosque. And if you remember, on day one when we were reporting out to Varanasi, that is on 6th of May, when the survey started, immediately after that survey on the day one, the Intizamiya Committee has gone back to the same court saying that Advocate Commissioner, in this case Mr. Ajay Mishra, is acting in a biased way. He is not impartial, and therefore fair investigation or fair survey or videography can't be conducted under his leadership. Please change the Advocate Commissioner. On which the court has accepted this petition, but it has, refused to stop the ongoing survey the next day. But it has said that on 9th of May, let Advocate Commissioner also make his stand clear on this petition, because this petition makes serious allegations against him. So as this hearing starts today at 2 p.m., Advocate Commissioner will be going to present his statement. This hearing today is important because in case the court decides that since there is no agreement on the Advocate Commissioner, if it decides to change or replace the Advocate Commissioner, then the big question would be what happens of that 2.5 hours long survey report which was made and conducted on day one. The other point, of course, is which the Hindu side is saying that on day two, when the surveys was stopped by the people inside the mosque, citing the fact that there was no clear-cut mention of survey being allowed inside the mosque. So Hindu side is going to pray that court should make very specific instruction that which are the areas in the disputed zone in which this survey can take place. So the Hindu side is going to pray to the court today that please mention specifically that the survey could be done under the Gyanvapi Mosque. So is the court also going to entertain it? We'll have to see, because the next crucial hearing in this matter is also, is also on second. Or tomorrow, I beg your pardon. And before that, the court is today going to decide that whether the same advocate commissioner will continue or he will be replaced.
All right, Pranju, for that, we'll keep coming back to you for more. Shifting our attention to some more updates coming in, and this is also relating to a court hearing. Now, the hearing in Supreme Court on the CPM plea challenging the demolition drive in Shaheen Bagh has now started. Judge has asked what is the fundamental right violation under Article 32. Now remember, a similar petition was filed earlier when the demolition drive was carried out in Jahangirpuri. At that time, there was a 2-week stay that was ordered. There was, of course, a lot of heated drama on ground in that case, as has developed today as well. But the matter has for now in Shaheen Bagh been rested, because even though the MCD teams reached there, they did not really use the JCB or the bulldozer anywhere, and they have left the area. Let me also go across to my colleague Arunima, who's joining us with more as far as this hearing is concerned. Arunima.
The Solicitor General has accused the petitioners of misrepresenting facts in the Supreme Court. This accusation came when the bench asked the Solicitor General as to why notice is not given. That was the allegation made by the petitioner, that there was no notice given. Suddenly, the officials landed up, and the Supreme Court asked them that, why don't you follow the rule of law? And it also asked the petitioners that why have you not moved the High Court? If, this is a public interest litigation, there is no personal liberty issue here, because CPM is the petitioner, and then they argued that they are here because it's a matter of public interest. Right now, what the bench is indicating is that it is not really inclined towards passing any order or issuing any notice. They want the petitioners to move High Court, and the Solicitor General is also arguing the proper procedure of law was followed, that this was a routine exercise. And he's also taken objection to this plea or the ground taken by the petitioner that structures were brought down. What he said was that, normal table chairs and other, smaller extensions that people make to their property, which encroaches on the road, attempt was made to remove that. There was no structure, permanent structure that was brought down, something that the petitioners were alleging.
Yes, so there are some questions that the court is asking both sides, isn't it? I think the court is also trying to establish what exactly has been brought down and what is the right that has been violated that the petitioners are bringing to the court. On another side, I think the court is also asking the government side as to why they cannot carry out these drives as per law.
Yes, exactly what I recounted. That both sides have had to answer some questions before the Supreme Court. The Solicitor General had to defend the government's action or the MCD's action as to why notice was not given, something that the petitioners have alleged. They said the Hawkers Association is also present there. The petitioners have had to justify in court as to why they should be entertained in the first place, because it's not a matter of their fundamental right. It's the CPM which has moved the court. They are the petitioner. They are in not any way the aggrieved party, to which the petitioners said that, we are here because this is a matter of public interest. Like I said, so far the observations from the bench seems to indicate that they are not wanting to get into this matter. They said that in Jahangirpuri we intervened because permanent structures were being brought down. We showed also to our viewers in Jahangirpuri how juice shops, proper concrete structure, first floor, second floor were brought down. So the Supreme Court said that there we intervened because there were permanent structures being brought down. Here, no such structure has been affected. The petitioners argued that structures have been brought down. The Solicitor General said that they have got their facts wrong.
Well, in fact, if you look at what transpired on ground, Arunima, and you were also there, Amanatullah Khan was on ground to claim that actually there are no illegal structures, the temporary ones that the MCD wanted to remove. So the question of removing or bringing down any structures doesn't come at all. In fact, of course, we've tracked that entire drive closely. So it's a little strange on what ground the petitioners are arguing that structures have been brought down today.
Yes, that's exactly what the Solicitor General is also pointing out, that you've got your facts down wrong. There are no permanent structures which have been brought down. There were some objections raised by the municipality to extensions that have been made by shopkeepers. Like our colleagues Siddhant, Anshul and Nikhil have also been reporting, this area, you will see the shops here are, at a floor above the road. They're raised structures. So to reach their shops, they've constructed staircases. over and above the permission that the MCD might have given them. They've made the, staircases a little ornate. They've ensured that those staircases, the area around that is also encroached upon. There are some encroachments outside shops where iron structures have been made out. MCD was objecting to those, and even without the use of bulldozer, because the locals, the MCD officials, and also the Delhi police came to a consensus, they decided that we will remove this on our own. And the bulldozer was not really required in Shaheen Bagh and Jasola, unlike what we saw in Northwest Delhi.
Yeah.
This is exactly what Solicitor General is pointing out to the court as well. But the petitioners are insisting that rule of law was not followed because there was no notice that was given. It was all hush-hush. Suddenly this drive began. B, they are saying that some structures have been damaged.
Yeah. Both obviously cannot be true. At one level, locals on the ground cannot claim that they've already willfully removed all encroachments, temporary encroachments that may be encroaching about in the footpath or on the road area. And then in court, the CPM petitioners are arguing that, the MCD has brought down those structures. Both possibly cannot be true. So there is, of course, a dissonance as far as these two lines are concerned. On the law issue, Arunima, the MCD maintains that as far as removal of these temporary encroachments, hawkers, etc. are concerned, they don't need to serve a notice.
That's the bone of contention. Whether you would have to serve or that matter was raised before you know, and the court has asked for an affidavit from MCD. That hearing will take place in a few hours, so the law is made clear. This is what MCD has, that they don't need to give notice for encroachment because they don't even know who the encroachers are. Something that do not agree with, but update as to what is happening. Court, like I was saying, the court bench is not really inclined. Is saying have to strike a balance. Even in Jahangirpuri matter, we told Mr. Sibbal, who was representing petitioners, we can't pass orders against all encroachments. Then just we are not of all encroachments in the city. What the petitioners said is that please let other affected parties approach the court. Petitioners are the CPM. The court is repeatedly asking, why are you here? What the voting of court has been rejected? Why did you go to the High Court? That's what Justice Gawai said. And to which the petitioners say that they do not hear it.
Arunima, just interrupting you for a brief minute, a very important observation has come in from Justice Rao. And he has said that we have not given license to anybody to come here to say, my house cannot be demolished, even if it is unauthorized. You cannot take shelter of that order. We cannot interfere, that too at the instance of political parties. I think in that one statement, really the entire episode has been encapsulated because the Supreme Court is very cognizant of the fact that they cannot give orders against encroachment drives per se, against encroachment, because that will of course set a very bad precedent. And here the justices are reminding the petitioners of that. One, you cannot take into account what happened as far as Jahangirpuri is concerned to say that in any kind of anti-encroachment drive, it cannot go on. It cannot be a legal shelter that even if your property is encroaching, it cannot be demolished by the authorities. Secondly, their court is also pointing out that this is not something we can do at the instance of political parties, at the interference of political parties, because that, of course, then also sets a very bad precedent. The court is also going on to say, don't take shelter under court's order just because we are showing interference. There cannot be such petitions in anticipation of action by political parties. Should we look at only demolitions in the country? Why cannot you approach the High Court? So there is another reprimand coming in that why do you come to the Supreme Court for all of these matters? Concerned High Courts can be approached. I think they broached that subject with the petitioners. The petitioners insist that the High Courts will not hear. There is something that they're saying, that they're expressing a concern that the High Courts will not hear. But that, of course, again cannot be taken as a legal precedent because that will be dangerous. So the court there reminding the petitioners that you cannot do this. And certainly the court cannot be looked upon to give legal shelter to encroachments against any drive. My colleague Siddhant is also tracking this. And Siddhant, you were there on ground. The court is, of course, striking a balance here. They don't want to set a precedent that at the instance of political parties, any and all encroachment drives will be stopped.
Well, that's absolutely right. Actually, last time what happened in the Jahangirpuri matter
in half an hour, Supreme Court ordered stay on the demolition drive, anti-encroachment drive, which was carried out. Now, this is perhaps the reason that this set of petitioners, this group of people, got hopes from that one order, and today again they moved to the Supreme Court. But Supreme Court came out heavily on these petitioners, and Justice Rao made it very clear that Supreme Court is the highest court in the country. They cannot entertain every single petition related to the encroachment drive, or for that matter, any encroachment drive being carried out anywhere across the country, because in fact he also said that the Jahangirpuri order was given because structures were being brought down. And that was just an interim stay which was granted at that point in time. But once the stay has been given, that does not mean that the petitioners will knock the doors of Supreme Court all the time whenever there is some anti-encroachment drive being carried out across the country. Also, Justice Rao has to say that Jahangirpuri order does not mean that the Supreme Court has ordered seizures of all sorts of anti-encroachment drives across the national capital. So it came out very heavily on the petitioners.
Yes, so I'm just interrupting you for a brief minute because we're getting some more observations from the court. Now, Surendranath, who's the petitioners' counsel, is saying, please grant us a 2-day stay. But the Supreme Court is saying that you mentioned it tomorrow in High Court. They have requested Solicitor General not to do anything till tomorrow. The Solicitor General has said whatever had to be removed has been removed. They just want headlines like Supreme Court saves the area from demolition. That's an important statement coming in from the Solicitor General, who continues to harp on the fact that this is all political. Supreme Court has also gone on to say this is not done. Such removal of encroachments are routine exercise. If we have to look at these matters, then we will look at such cases only. So this is a big observation that is coming in. Basically, as Ashwini Dubey, advocate, also joins us, the court is saying, first of all, take these matters to the concerned High Court. They've given time till tomorrow to the petitioners to raise it with the concerned High Court.
Yes, that's one thing. And the second thing, see, the observation by the Supreme Court says that why you are not following the due procedure of law. And without following the due procedure of law, the provisions of Delhi Municipal Corporation Act, as per which the mandatory notice has to be given before removing any kind of encroachment, be it legal, illegal, or made on the government land. And then one. And the second, you treat it as a regular this encroachment demolition drive, but you have not followed the due procedure of law. Then the Solicitor General mentioned that, look, we are following the due procedure of law, and the Supreme Court said that who are you about the CCIM? How are you agreeing? Because the first and foremost questions arise for filing of any petition seeking the constitutional remedy is the locus of the petition.
Yes. So Ashwini Dubey, just hold on your thoughts. I'll come back to you. That hearing is now officially over. As I was mentioning earlier, there is no relief or stay that has been granted by the Supreme Court to the petitioners in this case. Like I was also mentioning earlier, what they've said is that they are free to approach the concerned High Court, but no stay or no order against the demolition drive has been given. We'll have to wait and see if the petitioners now move the High Court and what the High Court's view is going to be. Yes, Ashwini Dubey, continue. Important point that the court is raising today is that the court cannot stop all anti-encroachment drives in the country. Certainly not in the national capital. They are routine. We all know that encroachment exists. They've also said that nobody can come to the court saying that no, you cannot demolish my house even if it's illegal.
See, that's the basic question. Yeah, the Justice Rao, if you remember, in the previous petition filed by Jamaat-e-Hind, seeking that, look, these houses are being removed without following the due procedure of law. Court said, look, due procedure of law has to be followed, which is mentioned, which is the statutory rule. Here also, the Solicitor General said they just want to create headlines that Supreme Court saved the area from demolition. But the Supreme Court said, look, we are not going to say this, but yes, we are hopeful that till tomorrow you are not going to carry out any drive until they've been approached to the Supreme Court. The basic and foremost question which arises here is the locus. What locus a political party?
No, I take your point, but my question is beyond that. Now, tomorrow, if somebody in Shaheen Bagh goes to the court, to the High Court in this case, and says that we want to stay on this drive, what does the statutory powers of the MCD say? Can they remove these encroachments, temporary structures on the road without notice or not? Because the MCD is saying that that's all we are doing.
See, the MCD is saying that we are following the procedure of law. We have identified these encroachments. After due identification, we are regularly removing it in accordance with the statutory provisions mentioned in Delhi Municipal Corporation Act and Commissioner's notice. Because the DMC Act says that the notice has to be issued by the Commissioner. So Commissioner's notice have been issued, and exactly what we have transpired from the newspaper reports and the media headlines, that from last week onwards, the Shaheen Bagh and few other areas were mentioned. Even the Sarojini Nagar area where the encroachment was found, the notice was issued. So this is the case where DMC is making and stating that we are following all due procedure law. We are issuing the notice. After that,
there is a slight confusion, Ashwini Dubey, as far as permanent structures and temporary structures are concerned. Because I myself have spoken to the MCD mayor, for example, in the Jahangirpuri case, and they were very categorical in saying that if there are permanent structures that are deemed to be illegal, those are served notices. But, you know, small shops, temporary structures on the footpath or encroaching upon space in front of shops, illegal constructions like temporary structures that the shopkeepers also made, they don't need to serve a notice for that.
For that, time to time, periodically, MCD carry out these kind of drives. In each and every area, MCD carry out these kind of drives wherever the encroachment on the footpath, public roads, pavements is found. So here it is the question of encouraging making houses over the government land.
Yes. Okay. We'll leave it at that. As far as permanent structures are concerned, certainly the MCD has to follow due process. But what about hawkers, those who make temporary structures on the footpath or on the road area? That's really the bone of contention, because the MCD, as has been proven by visuals, hasn't really demolished any of that in Shaheen Bagh today. In fact, no demolition took place in Shaheen Bagh today. So the court and the Solicitor General also pointed that out, that the petitioners in this case, the CPM, has got its facts wrong. No structures have been brought down today. We'll continue to follow this very closely. Time for a very short break.
Hundreds of people have surrounded the JCB machine, and only one JCB can be now seen here, and the police is trying their very best effort to make sure that the drive takes place smoothly.
बस क्या है दिल्ली आने का, क्योंकि मेरा अधिकार एक घर है। मेरा लोकसभा का जो मैं अधिकार लेके आती हूँ वो दिल्ली ही लेके आती हूँ। सब अधिकारों का इस्तेमाल और अधिकारों के लिए लड़ाई लड़ने का घर मेरा दिल्ली है, जहाँ पर पार्लियामेंट जिसे कहते हैं। मुझे लगता है महाराष्ट्र में जो भी दुर्घटना हमारे साथ हुई, दुर्व्यवहार हमारे साथ हुआ, एज ए मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट और एज ए MLA हमारे साथ जो भी हुआ, उसके अगेंस्ट में जो मैंने मुंबई कार्रवाई करने के लिए दी है, उस पर कुछ कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। तो आज मैं दिल्ली में उसी के अगेंस्ट में आई हूँ। तो मुझे लगता है कि मैं सभी जितने भी बड़े लीडर्स और जो रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, जो वुमेन्स को रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं सेंटर के द्वारा, उनके पास आके उनको मिलके मेरी पीड़ा मेरे साथ में जो हुआ उनको बताऊंगी। मुझे लगता है कि जो भी कोर्ट ने आदेश मुझे दिए थे, जो मेरे बेल एप्लीकेशन ऑर्डर में थी, कि पर्टिकुलर ये सब्जेक्ट पे मैं बात नहीं करूंगी, पर एज ए लोक प्रतिनिधि, लोकतंत्र में संविधान ने मुझे जो अधिकार दिया है, वो पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट को छोड़कर मैं बाकी सब्जेक्ट पे बात कर सकती हूँ। मैंने उस सब्जेक्ट को हाथ ना लगाते हुए जो मेरे साथ लॉकअप में हुआ, जिस तरीके से दुर्व्यवहार हुआ, जिस तरीके से जेल में मेरे साथ अत्याचार हुआ, मेरे हेल्थ इशू डॉक्टर लिख के देने के बाद भी मुझे जेल से चेकअप के लिए नहीं लेके जाया गया, इस विषय को लेकर बात करना ये अधिकार मुझे संविधान ने दिया है। पर कोर्ट के आदेश का पालन मैंने कल भी किया, आज भी करती हूँ और आगे भी करूंगी, उसमें कोई भी डाउट नहीं। आज मैंने ओम बिरला जी का टाइम लिया है और 5:30 बजे मैं ओम बिरला जी को मिलने वाली हूँ। एज ए लोकसभा मेंबर मेरे चेयरपर्सन को मिलके मेरी जो पीड़ा, मेरे साथ जो दुर्व्यवहार या महाराष्ट्र में उद्धव ठाकरे जी के द्वारा मेरे ऊपर अत्याचार किए गए हैं, वो एज ए चेयरपर्सन उन्हें बताने का काम मेरा कर्तव्य बनता है और उनको आके वो बताऊंगी। और ये भी एक है कि सीपी जो अमरावती महाराष्ट्र के हैं, मुंबई के जो सीपी हैं, कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस संजय पांडे जी, उनको एक चीज बताना चाहूंगी, जो वो गुलामी उद्धव ठाकरे जी की कर रहे हैं और उनके प्रेशर में और उनके बोलने के अनुसार वो हर किसी पे कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं, किसी को जेल भेज रहे हैं, किसी पे नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस दाखिल कर रहे हैं। वो 1 महीने के बाद रिटायर्ड होने वाले हैं, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि उनके पाप धुल जाएंगे, उसके बाद भी उनके पाप बाहर निकलेंगे। आपको जो लालच उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने दी है कि आपको राज्यसभा मेंबर देंगे या आपको कोई एमएलसी देंगे, ये सब चीजें बाजू में रखकर मुझे लगता है उसके बाद भी आपको उत्तर देना पड़ेगा। और जब जिसने मेरे ऊपर और विधायक रवि जी के ऊपर जिन्होंने गलत तरीके से ऑफेंस दाखिल किया है, जब तक मुझे सब एक जनता से पूछना है, आप सब यहाँ पर हैं, आप सबको पूछना चाहूंगी मेरी गलती क्या थी, मैंने गलती क्या की?
बेल की शर्तों का आपने उल्लंघन किया क्योंकि शो कॉज नोटिस है आप।
मैंने कोई भी उल्लंघन, कोर्ट के आदेशों का भंग नहीं किया, मैंने उस पर्टिकुलर विषय को हाथ नहीं लगाया। मैंने जो बोला, जो मेरे साथ पीड़ा हुई, मेरे हेल्थ इशू को लेकर मुझे जिस तरीके से पीड़ा दी गई, लॉकअप से लेकर जेल तक, उसे बोलने का अधिकार मुझे संविधान ने दिया और उसका मैंने अधिकार बजाया। 100% मैं सभी का समय लेऊंगी और लेकर वहां तक जाऊंगी। दादा, मी अमित शहाजींना जे महिलांना रिस्पेक्ट करतात, देशाचे गृहमंत्री आहे ओम बिर्ला साहेब आणि मोठे अजून जे लीडर आहे ज्यांच्या हात पूर्ण राईट्स आहे, जे महिलांना रिस्पेक्ट करतात, तिथपर्यंत मी त्यांचा दार ठोकण्यासाठी जाणार आणि त्यांना मी न्याय मांगण्याची पूर्ण गुहार लावणार। मुझे लगता है पीएम साहब को भी, हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जैसे वो फ्री नहीं है पीएम साहब। हमारे मुख्यमंत्री दो साल कार्यालय नहीं जाते हैं मुख्यमंत्री के। पीएम साहब तो हर मिनट ये देश के लिए देते हैं। तो हम भी देश के मिनट में 1 मिनट जरूर मांगूंगी पीएम साहब से कि हमारी पीड़ा उन्होंने समझनी चाहिए, सुननी चाहिए। पर मुझे ये जरूर विश्वास है कि अभी तक उन्होंने इस चीज की पूरी जानकारी ली होगी, पूरी माहिती, इन्फॉर्मेशन उन तक पहुंची है। पर मुझे ये जरूर पता है कि पीएम साहब का 1-1 मिनट बहुत महत्व रखता है ये देश के लिए, और वो देश के लिए 1-1 मिनट के लिए काम करते हैं। उद्धव ठाकरे जी के जैसा 2 साल ऑफिस में नहीं जाते। 100% पुलिस, जो दिल्ली पुलिस है, जो मेरे घर के पार्लियामेंट के एरिया में जो पुलिस स्टेशन आता है, वहाँ जाके जो खुलेआम मुझे गुंडे जैसी एक राज्यसभा मेंबर ने धमकी दी, 20 फुट नीचे गाड़कर, और आपकी पूरी सामग्री क्रियाक्रम की हमने ऑलरेडी मशान में पहुंचा दी है। इस तरीका का भाषा जो जिसने किया है संजय राउत, जिनको हमारे महाराष्ट्र में पोपट बुलाते हैं, ऐसे पोपट के अगेंस्ट में मैं एफआईआर करने के लिए पुलिस स्टेशन जाऊंगी और मैं खुद जाकर एफआईआर दूंगी। मुझे लगता है कि कोर्ट ने जो आदेश दिए, मैं उसके अगेंस्ट भी जाऊंगी। मैं तो मेरी पूरी जनता को ये पूछ रही हूँ, एक भारतीय नागरिक होने के कारण और एक महिला होने के नाते मैं ये पूछना चाहूंगी, मैंने ऐसा कौन सा गुनाह किया जो मेरे ऊपर देशद्रोह लगा आज? मुझे ये सभी को पूछना है कि देशद्रोह किस बात का? अगर मेरी हेल्थ खराब है, मेरी हेल्थ इशू है, तो उस पे मैं बोलूंगी कि मेरी हेल्थ इशू है, डॉक्टर ने लिख के दिया मुझे कि आप जाइए हॉस्पिटल चेकअप कराइए, मुझे भेजा नहीं गया। और मुझे देशद्रोह के अंदर जिंदगी भर जिस ईमानदारी से मैंने काम किया, आज मेरे ऊपर देशद्रोह दाखिल होता है। तो महाराष्ट्र में कोई भी ऐसा व्यक्ति है न्याय के लिए नहीं लड़ेगा, न्याय के लिए बाहर नहीं आएगा।
क्या कहना चाहती है उद्धव ठाकरे के लिए? आज आप दिल्ली में मौजूद हैं, यहाँ से आप क्या कहना चाहती हैं?
मैं एक बात जरूर कहना चाहूंगी, ये जो उद्धव ठाकरे जी हैं, इन्होंने ज्ञान की बातें और सिद्धांत की बातें बिल्कुल नहीं करनी चाहिए। जो किसी और के भरोसे चुन के आए, मोदी जी के पैर छूकर आशीर्वाद लेकर 14 और 19 विधानसभा और लोकसभा जो अपने पार्टी के लोगों को चुन के लाए हैं, मोदी जी के भरोसे, उद्धव ठाकरे जी के भरोसे चुन के नहीं आए। खून का पसीना करना पड़ता है जब लोग लोकसभा और विधानसभा चुन के आते हैं। बैक स्टैंपिंग की है तो ये उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने की है। और भगवान के नाम लेने में अगर कोई मुझे जेल में डाल जाता है तो आखिरी सांस तक मैं भगवान का नाम लेना छोड़ूंगी नहीं। भगवान का नाम स्मरण करती थी, करूंगी और आगे भी करती रहूंगी। उसको कोई नहीं रोक सकता। 100% मैं संजय राउत जी जो पोपट हैं उद्धव ठाकरे जी के, उसके अगेंस्ट में FIR करूंगी। मुंबई में सभी डिपार्टमेंट के लोग अंडर प्रेशर काम कर रहे हैं, पर केंद्र के एजेंसी पे भी गुहार लगाऊंगी कि उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करे और इंक्वायरी करे। मुझे लगता है जिन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में सीधा तौर से मुझे आह्वान दिया, मुझे धमकी दी, उनके विरोध में मैं और शिवसेना ने हमारे घर पे हल्ला किया और हमारे अमरावती के घर पे हल्ला किया, मुंबई के घर पे हल्ला किया। गुंडेशाही तो उन्होंने की, हम तो घर से बाहर भी नहीं निकले, तो भी हम देशद्रोह। जो गुंडे हमें मारने आए उन पे कोई कार्रवाई नहीं। जो खुलेआम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में मुझे बोलते हैं 20 फुट नीचे गाड़ देंगे, महिला को नीचे गाड़ देंगे। मैं तो आ गई हूँ दिल्ली, मैं तो मुंबई भी थी, गाड़ के तो देखते। हमारी देश की जनता सोई नहीं है, देश की जनता जागी।
So that's Navneet Rana, who has landed in the national capital, wants to meet the Prime Minister, Home Minister and of course Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla on the treatment that was meted out to her. But she has made very strong comments against both the Maharashtra government, the Chief Minister and also Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Raut, who has been seen principally opposing the Rana as far as media comments are concerned. They also face a notice now on the cancellation of their bail for violating its provisions or its conditions. We'll continue to track this very closely. Time for a very short break. Stay with us.
Very marathon movie making session with Bulbuleya, and finally I'm happy that people will actually see it, and we will be free of it.
Yeah. We were all waiting to see you, but I hope you never contracted COVID in these last two.
Fortunately, I did not. Yeah, fortunately, I'm still safe.
We are glad.
Yeah, thankfully.
We are glad that our favorite is doing well, and you are reuniting with your favorite Ajay Devgan for Drishyam 2 and for Bhola as well. So have you started work on these already?
I have. I've started work on Drishyam and Bhola both. And in fact, I'm leaving for Goa again day after for Drishyam. Yeah.
Jet setter.
Yeah. I completed Khufia, I completed Kutte, I completed Bulbuleya, started Drishyam, I started Bhola. And till August, I should have been done with all my projects. That's a lot. I've never done so much in my life. And I need a break now after all this is done.
Too much. All these movies, this show as well, this Audible show, Sandman. Yeah. And what else, Tabu? What else are you going to surprise us with?
I think this is more than enough for this year and next year. I think I have releases spaced out till mid next year. So I think I have my hands full. I need to take a break now because, it's been too much continuously. But the good thing is that I was working with Vishal and Ajay, so it did not feel like, work or did not feel challenging. So it was like home ground for me. Yeah.
अरे हम क्यों बंद करें हमारे लाउड स्पीकर बजाने का हमारा पुराना रिवाज है। हम सालों से लाउड स्पीकर बजा रहे हैं। तुम कौन होते हो हमें रोकने वाले? तुम लाउड स्पीकर बजाते हो और हमको सुनना पड़ता है, तो हम क्यों नहीं लाउड स्पीकर बजाए और तुम हमारा लाउड स्पीकर सुनो। पहले लाउड स्पीकर हम बजाएंगे, तो पहले हम बजाएंगे गणपति नवरात्रि। अगर तुम लाउड स्पीकर बजा सकते हैं तो हम क्यों नहीं बजा सकते। वैसे भी सबसे बड़ा लाउड स्पीकर हमारे पास ही है। सबसे बड़ा लाउड स्पीकर? कौन सा लाउड स्पीकर? राज साहब ठाकरे। हमारा लाउड स्पीकर भी काफी बड़ा है। सबसे ज्यादा आवाज करता है राज ठाकरे से ज्यादा सुना के नहीं। कौन सा लाउड स्पीकर? असाउद्दीन ओवैसी जी। सबसे ज्यादा शोर हमारे लाउड स्पीकर करता है। अरे हमने सुना है तुम्हारे लाउड स्पीकर कोई भी भाड़े पे ले सकता है, और हमने सुना है कि तुम्हारे लाउड स्पीकर का वॉल्यूम कंट्रोल किसी और के हाथ में है। अरे वो छोड़ दो, हमारे पास और एक बड़ा लाउड स्पीकर है, उससे बड़ा लाउड स्पीकर आपके पास भी नहीं है। कौन सा लाउड स्पीकर? संजय राउत। ये बात तो है, लेकिन एक प्रॉब्लम है, संजय राउत अपने खुद की ही गाने लगाता है, उसका कुछ भरोसा नहीं। अरे तो तुम्हारे लाउड स्पीकर बंद करो ना। अरे तुम बंद करो, तुम कौन होते हो हमारा बंद करने वाले? हम अपना लाउड स्पीकर यही बजाएंगे, हम भी अपना लाउड स्पीकर यही बजाएंगे। देखता हूँ कौन रोकेगा। हनुमान चालीसा बजाने से कौन रोकता है देखना चाहता हूँ मैं। हनुमान चालीसा? तुम हनुमान चालीसा